The 93X Half-Ass Morning Show podcast is sponsored by Standard Heating and Air Conditioning.
Standard Heating is having their 94-year celebration. They have special offers just for you this February. Whether you need a new furnace or a tune-up, they have something special for everyone. Visit standardheating.com to save today.
The 93X Half-Ass Morning Show. 93X.
Greetings. Welcome to the show.
TGIF.
Thank God it's Friday.
Don't take this personal, but I hate that your desk is next to mine. After 40 hours of hearing you bitch, let me make one thing clear. The last thing I wanna do is go get a beer. So F you till Monday, don't call and ruin my weekend. F you till Monday, we're co-workers, not friends. Politely said go screw. F you till Monday. How did all the layoffs skip you? I see you more than my wife and kids, so when 5 o'clock hits, know this. F you till Monday. F you till Monday. F you till Monday.
Ladies and gentlemen, the weekend.
Music has been taken out of this portion of the Half-Ass Morning Show podcast for licensing reasons.
Oh, yeah. That feeling again, Cubby. I feel it.
That Friday feeling?
That's what it is.
So close to Monday. Here we go.
The feeling of complete and 100% pure indifference. I'm detached, distant, almost callous even.
You're a shell of the usual man you are Monday through Thursday.
Absolutely unfeeling and uncaring because it's our Friday. And I don't effing care. But here we go anyways. Welcome to the 93X Half-Ass Morning Show. And what a great tune to start with. You know, I've been a Loverboy fan since I was just a little kid.
Ditto.
You know, later on, our stupid pals Randy Shaver and Brad Ryder will battle to the death in our latest edition of a segment called Dad Fights, our Friday trivia gangbang.
But you don't care. Not today. Not today.
Not at all. And we're expecting a guest. It'll be the dude from rentahitman.com. I think he goes by the name of Bill. That's what I remember his name to be, Bill. We talked about this effing website even very recently. This has become a big effing story. If you don't know the story behind rentahitman.com, guy put it up there. Actually, if I remember right, maybe you can help me out, Josh. He put it up there in hopes is how I should say it, in hopes to help people out with their computers, something internet related. Hits, as in hits on your computer.
That's exactly right. He is, personally, I go to Cumulus Digital for that because there are a series of professionals where if you have a business, big or small, we can help you get more clicks on your website. Basically, we post nudes. Best Buy, you interested? We can help you out.
There you go.
He does exactly what you said. So he put this out, you know, a clever, cute name, Rent a Hitman, because he's the man that will get you more hits on your website.
More hits on your website.
But there's too many idiots out there that didn't get the joke, and they're trying to kill folks.
It really is incredible. Derelicts contact the website thinking it's a legitimate way to hire a hitman to kill somebody dead. These morons bust themselves, more or less. And here this Bill guy has stumbled upon something truly incredible. And he's agreed to give us a phone call a little bit later. That ought to be something.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to talking to this. You know, it's silly that, and this is a recommendation by a listener. I don't know, we've never, for whatever reason, we don't think that way, mostly because we don't like to do interviews. But we talked about...
Especially not on Fridays.
Yeah, especially you on Fridays.
Oh, God.
We talked about this guy so many times over the years. He's been, you know, he's gotten national attention. He's been on national media. People still fall for this for whatever reason. His website is very tongue-in-cheek. People still fall for this. And he seems to have a great personality, so that'll be fun to talk to him today. He even said he's going to divulge some local stories.
I'm excited about that.
People who are interested in taking out someone they know.
That's frightening.
Isn't it? That there's people here? I hope our names aren't on that list.
Jesus. So he's able to sift through all the different dullards who have fallen for this.
Wapple, are you a little nervous that maybe you're going to get outed?
No, I should be good.
You used an alias?
Yeah, I used a different website.
Smart.
Yeah. Wapple knows all about that dark web. He can find the real dirty stuff.
It was ineedahitman.com.
Are you sure it wasn't I can't afford a hitman.com?
Hitmanforcheap.com.
Cheapest hitman.
Actually, knowing you, Wapple, I think it would be more like, I need a hit, man.
No
So
doubt.
this guy's able to sift through all the dullards who have contacted him hoping to kill somebody, or at least hoping to hire someone to kill somebody. And he can say, this guy came from Minnesota. This guy came from Wisconsin. So, yeah, we'll get the local angle if we can. Is there a problem over there, Wapple? Your hand is raised.
Oh, I was just trying
Do you have to go to the bathroom?
No, I was just trying to get Josh's attention.
Oh,
I just saw your message.
I thought you were waving at me. And maybe you had to go potty.
That is a nice. Sometimes I like to do that to you, just to say, "Hey, buddy, I'm thinking about you." Right across the board here.
Is there a problem, Cubby?
No, Wapple is alerting me that our coworker, the daughter, I'm glad I've never had, even though I think of her as a daughter. Ashley is on the phone.
What the
Checking
hell
in from U.S. Bank Stadium because it's Monster Jam Eve today. So she's out there with some of the drivers and probably going to, hotwire Bigfoot or something.
What the hell? They're really revving around the joint at 5:47 in the morning?
Can't you hear the crowd?
This is the sound effect I'm playing.
I fell for it. This sounded real as hell. Well, Ashley, are you there?
Yeah, I'm here.
Why'd you get there so early?
Why are you there?
I was told to be here at a time, and I got here.
When have you ever showed up at a time you were told to be?
True. This is totally... Who is this?
This is not our Ashley.
Are you guys proud of me?
Very proud of you.
We're proud, but also, what the hell are you doing there an hour and a half early?
I am standing in the middle of U.S. Bank Stadium in a bunch of dirt right now.
Yeah.
And they're going to start running the trucks at like 6:15. So
that early? Wow.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. They got practice to do, right?
Okay. I didn't know.
I didn't think it would be this early in the morning.
Nobody told us that you. We thought maybe you'd wander in there about 7:30.
That's what I thought too.
But they told you get there early. We're going to start tuning these pigs up early.
Oh yeah, absolutely, yeah.
All right.
Have you talked to any of the?
So exciting.
Have you talked to any of the drivers yet?
No, but I think I found them. There's a couple dudes with some cowboy hats. So that means they drive the big trucks, right?
That could be them.
You're at the wrong point.
Yeah. World's toughest rodeo.
You're at the Hamel Rodeo.
What are you doing in Hamel at the Hamel Rodeo? I would imagine if a guy's wearing a big fat-ass cowboy hat, he might be a driver.
Yeah, and then the person that set us up with the interview, Mike, Josh, I know you know Mike.
Oh, yeah.
You know Mike.
Mm-hmm.
I
Handsome
couldn't
gentleman,
get
that
past
Mike.
the fact that when he came and met me, he had 2 big bags of McDonald's.
Whoa.
He's a gentleman.
Yeah,
kidding.
he put him over in the corner, and I can't stop eyeballing him. I don't know who that's for.
Well, talk to Mike and ask him if you can have an egg-a-muffin. Don't just swipe one out of the bag. We'll get a bad reputation in the monster truck community. Since you're there so early, if you're able to sneak back into the locker rooms, I would love a Monster Mutt fire suit. One of my favorite all-time...
sorry, Nick. Go ahead.
I was just going to say that one of my favorite all-time monster trucks is the Monster Mutt, and if you could steal a fire suit for me, I would have something to wear to the Legion on Sundays.
Man, you wear that in there, you're going to be the king.
Mm-hmm.
If you don't mind, will you steal the big arms off a zombie? I'd love to walk around and just do the arm thing, the up and down with those zombie arms. I love zombie.
I can do that for you.
All right, so there you are. I didn't know. We didn't get the information that you were going to be there so early and that they were going to start revving up and down and practicing at such an ungodly hour. Well, okay.
So the guy that set this up, Mike, again, handsome gentleman, he doesn't seem like the type of guy that wants to wake up at 4 a.m. or whatever it is. That's probably he's got the hangover food there with the McDonald's.
Oh, yeah. They were out at Rick's Cabaret or something last night, sure.
He was telling me, actually, he woke up 15 minutes before his alarm today.
Oh, wow.
And as you guys know, that's the worst feeling ever.
Yeah.
That's what
He can't
happens.
go back to sleep at that point.
That's what happens when you're not used to getting up early, right? Mm-hmm. When you're used to it, you wake up at the time, the last second that before your alarm goes out, or right at your alarm.
What did Mike tell you so far? Is this normal for them to start tuning up these rigs so early? Or are they doing it all special for you?
I believe they're doing it special just for the media. There's more important people here with some cameras.
Oh, Fox.
Which, that matters.
Watch your language, for Christ's sake.
Yeah. You know what I mean.
What the hell was that over there?
That's foxing inappropriate.
I see. So they got the television morning teams and the television news teams out there with their fancy cameras. Okay, well, call us back when they get things fired up. And before you leave there this morning, I know I ran this idea by you folks yesterday. Remember that great video from Winstock a few years ago? The big concert festival out in Winstead, Minnesota called Winstock. There was a great video that everybody was talking about, and there's already most of you know what I'm referring to. Ashley, we want to see this morning if your head will fit into the exhaust pipe of a monster truck.
Awesome. Yeah, let's go ahead and do that. Why not?
All right. Well, call us back. Don't just steal a McDonald's breakfast sandwich. Ask first.
Okay, I think I can pull that off, yeah.
And they told you maybe 15, 20 minutes from now they might start firing these bastards up.
Yep, I'm super excited. Yeah, I really want to see the Megalodon get fired up.
Oh. Megalodon.
Yeah, that'll be fun.
Yeah, they said I could even maybe get a chance to sit in one of them. And if I get to choose, obviously I want to sit in the shark-looking truck.
All right, it looks like a shark, sure, Megalodon.
When we talked to, what was the woman's name that drove El Toro Loco? Oh, no. I just had it.
I know. We talk about her often, actually.
Yeah, and I just
always
had it.
I always forget.
Shoot, and she's so sweet as well. But she did that double backflip. I was there. That's the greatest sporting event I've ever seen. She did the double backflip.
Yeah.
And we had her on afterwards, like, wow, that's incredible. How long did you practice? All that kind of stuff. And she's like, oh, it was completely on accident. She didn't mean to do it at all. And it was one of the best things I've ever seen in person.
Just tapped that gas pedal a little too hard, and next thing you know, she's in a double backflip.
And she's a legend afterwards.
Lands on the tires, wonders what the hell happened, and now she's a living legend. Yes, Wapple.
Was it Becky McDonough?
That sounds right. That sounds right to me.
Tell you what, I'm going to go along with it, kid.
Well, I'll snag some pictures of these trucks and throw them up on 93x.com so people can see it.
Oh, yeah.
How they look before they get all dirty.
Too.
That'd be good.
Awful nice. Thanks, Mashley. We'll hear from you soon.
Awesome. Thanks, guys.
You bet. I bought it right away, Josh, when you were playing the sound effects. I thought that we had connected with Ashley and they were already racing around the pit.
That would be cool if they were already going.
You play some damn believable sound effects.
I have a sound effects budget you wouldn't believe. Becky McDonough is the correct answer, Wapple. And thank you, brother and sisterhood.
We had her in the studio.
And I apologize. I forgot the name. That was stupid.
These things happen. You got a lot on your mind.
I got sound effects to think about.
Yeah.
Right. Mm-hmm.
I bought every single second of that. One of my fondest memories of going over to the U.S. Bank. What do you call it? The new Metrodome? That's what they call it, right?
Mm-hmm.
One of my old and new. I've been going to the Monster Jam for years. I have two great memories. One was when me and three of my buddies were selected to be judges for the freestyle competition. That was a real thrill.
Yeah, that's a big responsibility. I'm not being sarcastic. Like, the drivers take that seriously.
Yeah, and they pulled us down to some front row seats. You're bellied up to the tarp. And there was a little element of fear being that close to the track. I thought, oh, God, an axle's going to break, and I'm going to...
Sure. One of those tires would just eviscerate a guy.
Oh, yeah, he hit me right in the aorta, and that'll be the end of that. So we got to judge the freestyle competition a few years ago, and it was just a riot, and everyone was so cool. But my other real fond memories of the Monster Jam was not that long ago at the new Metrodome. I was seated somewheres, and I knew that Wapple was seated in the purple section. What do they call that fancy schmancy?
Oh, Oh, you're talking about
Club Purple. Yeah.
Is it Club Purple?
Club Purple.
Dude, that's hilarious.
Yeah.
Right. Fancy schmancy, isn't it?
Yeah, and they're playing tunes.
Do they still have Club Purple?
I don't know.
I don't hear about it anymore, but for a while, yeah, people were talking about Club Purple.
But you can, don't they have like comfortable couches and whatnot?
Yeah.
Right. Okay. And because I had sat there before, but on this particular night, I didn't get the Club Purple seats. Wapple and his buddies did. So I'm sitting across the stadium, and the show is going on, and it dawned on me, Wapple's over there in Club Purple. So I start scanning Club Purple to try to find you. And I found you sitting on one of those comfortable couches in the heat of the show. How would I say this? This was in the...
Right, just the peak.
The peak.
Pinnacle.
The pinnacle.
The height. The climax.
There you go.
The orgasm.
The show was at its peak. Trucks are flipping back and this and that. And I find Wapple, and you're sitting on that couch, and you are so obviously stoned out of your mind.
Oh, yeah.
That it cracked me up.
Yeah. And do you remember what I was wearing?
A drug rug.
Yeah,
buddy.
You know,
me and my pal started to crack up because everyone else in the arena is standing and cheering. Oh my God, a double backflip. Oh God, here comes Gravedigger. Wapple is in just this slouched, almost laid completely on his back position, and he's higher than a giraffe's ass.
Yeah, I'm leaned all the way back. I'm using the full couch.
And I said, that is disgusting. They gave him Club Purple seats at the radio station. He's just going to sit there high.
I was so bummed when they announced the new Metrodome, because the first thing I thought is, well, what's going to happen to Monster Jam or the Supercross or something like that? What are we going to I thought maybe the new Metrodome would be too fancy and the Monster Jam wouldn't fit the bill of what they wanted to have there, but thankfully it's back. And I brought friends to Monster Jam, and I remember the first one at US Bank Stadium. I was really excited to see how they do it, and I'm telling my buddy, I'm like, just so you know, like, he brought his son. He didn't buy his son. They conceived him for free. Well, he paid for a dinner and stuff, but anyways, my buddy, I'm like, okay, just so you know, it's going to be really loud, crazy loud. And I remember the first time going, you can barely hear the engine. A combination of maybe they changed the way they built the engines and how just the acoustics of the facility, but it's not nearly as loud. That dome, man, it would blow your ears off. It would
echo throughout the whole place.
It would rattle your kidneys.
Oh, man, it'll be a fun weekend over there. Well, we have Monster Jam passes before we get out of here this morning. So, if you already haven't gotten your hands on the ticket, maybe we could hook you up. Club level. That sounds fancy. I don't exactly know what that means, but that sounds fancy to me.
It does.
Club Purple. Club Purple.
Did they have their own DJ Wapple? Like you see at a Timberwolves game or something like that?
I believe they did.
Nice.
That reminds me of when I went to, what do you call that setup out there in Wisconsin with the really painful roller coasters and all the
Dells?
The kids are urinating in the on the water slide. Yes, Wisconsin Dells.
Ooh, I want to get there this summer.
I've never seen so many unfortunate wardrobe malfunctions. Unfortunate for me is what I mean. God, Wisconsin Dells had a good time, don't get me wrong, but just adults and little babies and no one can keep their swimsuit on. I'm just sitting there. Can you tighten that thing up when you go down the slide? It comes all the way off. But anyway, I remember driving up on Wisconsin Dells a few years ago, and that was my first time there. I didn't realize they had a club.
Oh yeah,
right. They had a little club. I don't think it's in operation anymore, but they had a little club where the adults can go once they put the babies to sleep to dance and drink. And the club was called, I can't get over this. The club was called Club Wet.
Oh, gross.
Yes, and after seeing everything that I saw at the park in broad daylight, I didn't really want to see those parents at Club Wet.
I don't blame you.
I saw too much of them in broad daylight. Like, sir, do you not understand that your entire nutsack is hanging out of your swim trunks as we're sitting around the wading pool here? I don't know what it is with folks over there. They can't keep their body parts inside their swimsuits. So, but I had a few beers, and I said, F it, let's go to Club Wet. But when we walked up, it was closed.
Oh, no.
Never got
sucks.
into. Yeah.
The moose should have told you outside.
Oh!
I had a buddy. I benefited from his parents getting divorced. He was my best friend in 6th grade. And so his parents had a competition and who was the cooler parent, which one he should love more.
Oh, sure.
And so his mom took us out to Wisconsin Dells. And I had never been anywhere. I hadn't even been to Valley Fair yet.
Oh, wow.
So it was awesome. I absolutely loved it. The ducks were my favorite part by far. Mm-hmm. And I remember we did the bumper cars as well. And I came off that thing and my friend's mom's like, hey, are you okay? I'm like, well, what do you mean? I had the time of my life. She's like, I've never seen someone look more stressed behind the wheel. And I do remember being a little nervous.
I can picture you being nervous bumper car guy.
Why are all the cool kids coming after me?
I can see that look on your face.
Yeah.
You're the guy that's pinned in the corner and they just keep smashing you over and over.
I guess I kept it at 10 and 2 and I looked real stressed.
Where's my turn signal?
I was self-conscious about it. I'm like, oh, really? I was that bad, huh?
I really enjoyed myself at what's the name of the joint again?
Wisconsin Dells.
I really enjoyed myself at Wisconsin Dells, aside from all the pubic hair that I saw. But I'll tell you this. That was the weekend where I found out, like Danny Glover said in Lethal Weapon, I'm too old for this.
Oh, really?
The water slides, loved it. I loved just whipping down to the bottom of those water. That was fun. But then I got talked into going on those roller coasters. That's a young person's game, man.
Yeah.
A young person's game. We went on one of those wood roller coasters, and that sumbitch was so fast. And to me, it was so rough that when it was over, the person that I was with said, I want to go again. And I said, I'm going to be sitting out that particular trip. I will not go again.
Yeah, now that I'm old, I can't go on rides. I used to be able to go on everything. I can't do it anymore. I remember a few years ago, I got mad at a lazy river. It wasn't lazy enough. But this is too fast. I can't get out of this raft. It's way too fast to get out of this thing.
That wood roller coaster at Wisconsin Dells gave me a worse beating than they did in Maple Lake.
Oh, is that right?
It beat my ass.
Oh, yeah, the one at Valley Fair, that'll rumble, too.
Oh.
I just did that one this summer, or last summer again. Oh, boy, I thought my brain was going to rattle out of my head.
Yeah.
That's a little rickety.
That'll wake you up.
I don't remember it being that.
Oh, you really? I mean, that's why anytime I think about that one, that's what I think about is how much you bounce around in that so much.
When you're young, you don't feel the beating.
It was the new wood one. I forgot what they call it.
Oh, yeah. One. Any of the wood ones will give you, they'll shake the living. You want to hear a creepy text message I just received?
Yeah.
Kind of creepy. So we were talking to Ashley. She's at the new Metrodome this morning, and she's going to check in with us again soon. She's hanging out with all the monster trucks who are going to be part of the Monster Jam this weekend. So we talked to Ashley. She's at the new Metrodome. There must be some fellas working at the new Metrodome this morning. And what I mean is, like, on the building itself. Because I got a text from a gentleman who said, tell Ashley to wave. We are hanging off the building on the south side of the new Metrodome. He says, I'm so close that I can taste her lips on mine.
My goodness. My God. It tastes like vape fluid, I bet. Mm-hmm. Don't you think?
Vape fluid and the Egg McMuffin she just stole.
Blueberry vape juice. Yes, that I'm so close I can taste her lips on mine.
One of my favorite things...
Ashley, do not wave in the direction of the south side of the building if you're listening.
Stay on the north side.
Do not wave. Yes, Josh?
One of my favorite things about Ashley is how she can just destroy a plate full of bacon. Mm-hmm. Breakfast food. She loves breakfast foods. I like that about a person.
I hear you. What else is going on around here?
I'm not proud of this, but that same Wisconsin Dells trip, again, we were 6th grade, just discovering ourselves.
Oh, my God.
And kind of hanging out by the bottom of the water slides praying for wardrobe malfunctions. I know you didn't like to see it, but at that time I hadn't seen anything.
How old a kid were you?
6th grade.
Oh, I would have been in the same spot as a 6th grader.
I'm not proud of it. I'm kind of disgusted with myself, but me and my buddy did kind of hang out towards the bottom there.
Oh, you should not be.
Hoping that a bra or a bikini top would pop right off.
Did you guys acknowledge what you guys were doing? We're like, oh, let's just hang here for a little bit. Or did you guys both say, hey, let's see some boobs?
That was planned weeks ahead, Dana.
Okay,
Yeah.
good.
Yeah, we took up a tactical position. We were afraid everyone knows what we're doing. We were so nervous, like, oh no, they know what we're up to.
You're a 12-year-old kid. It's only natural. Here's Wolfpack Softball Jesus texting in. He says, speaking of the roller coaster that kicked my ass at Wisconsin Dells, he says, was it next to a big wooden horse? Yes, that's the one. He says, that one will rattle your teeth loose. I agree with you. That's the one I'm referencing, Wolfpack Softball Jesus, and thanks for the text. And I don't normally say that to Wolfpack Softball Jesus. Thanks for the text. But that's the one. The big wooden horse. I got on it. I was all excited, and it beat my ass into oblivion.
I've seen Wolfpack Softball Jesus pretty drunk on a couple of our boats in the past.
Oh, I have too.
Yeah, there was one time coming off that thing, I thought, I might have to call someone for him. But at the end of that boat, it takes him a while to get his sea legs.
I wonder if he's ever
land
been.
legs.
I wonder if he's ever been stoned in Club Purple. Come on, boom, but the top, pop, 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 pop.
I bet he has. So little quick story. He actually is friends with my cousin, Wolfpack Softball Jesus.
Now that is incredible.
Why did you wait so long to tell us that?
I don't know.
That is, I did not expect to hear anything like that this morning.
It's earth-shattering. Earth-shattering news.
We got to get going. What the hell's going on? It's Friday, like I said. Don't really care how things turn out, but we do have things planned. Dad fights and this and that. We'll take a break. We'll come right back on the program.
Half-assed morning show.
They're loud, they lose control, they do their little circus act, they're a nuisance.
93X.
Our experienced and certified technicians at Standard Heating have been trusted to keep our fellow Minnesotans comfortable and confident for over 90 years. We're ready to do the same for you, providing comfort you deserve since 1930.
Standard Heating is having their 94-year celebration. They have special offers just for you this February. Whether you need a new furnace or a tune-up, they have something special for everyone. Visit standardheating.com to save today.
Count.
Stupid news on the Half-assed morning show.
Let's get it going. Get the stupid news cooking here. God dang, this will be tough to take. I don't care who you are. A couple days ago, an airplane ride full of passengers that was supposed to go from Amsterdam to Detroit. They had to turn right around while they were up in the air. They had to turn around and go back to where they came from because it started raining maggots in the damn cockpit.
Oof. Yeah. I've been grossed out by maggots before.
Have you? Tell us the story.
A couple times. Well, one was we bag up our dog feces, to give out as gifts or holidays and stuff like that. But one time it was a little too long before we emptied the bag.
Sure.
And I opened it to add some more to the fun, and there were so many maggots in there. I thought, well, we're moving.
Yep. Mm-hmm. Burn the house down.
You own the house now. Oh man, I was not expecting that. That was disgusting.
What an interesting appetite maggots have.
Yeah, they love turds. Love them.
I remember singing along to the song back when I was a kid. Maggots are falling like rain. Putrid pus pools vomit bubonic plague. The bowels of the beast reek of puke. The old Gwar song, maggots?
Yeah, Gwar.
You knew what I was talking about?
Yeah, I knew exactly what you were talking
That's
about.
awesome. I didn't think you guys would know.
No, I know that.
From their 1990 album, Scum Dogs of the Universe, Gwar. They sang a song about maggots.
I feel like only one band would have lyrics like that, and it's Gwar.
Well, I don't know. I could see like Wasp having a song about maggots.
Oh, yeah.
I saw Gwar on the Scum Dogs of the Universe tour.
How are they live?
Terrific. So here's the deal. Folks are trying to take a plane ride. They're coming from Amsterdam. They're headed to Detroit. They had to turn her around and go back because maggots came pouring out from the overhead compartment, one of the overhead compartments, and they were dropping down onto some lady's head. word is the one female passenger who took the brunt of the maggot shower, they got all in her hairdo. A few probably got into her mouth. They say she had a pretty solid freak out when she realized she was covered in maggot ass. And here's what was going on. The flight attendants and such, they took a look in the overhead compartment thingy to see what the hell was going on. They saw that some effing lunatic had packed rotten fish in their effing carry-on bag.
Oh, you don't do that.
So fragrant and odoriferous.
Yes.
You only do something like that if you're dangerously unhinged.
Yeah, that's odd.
You're dangerously unhinged if you pack rotten fish in your overnight bag. And the fish had obviously been packed in that bag for a long enough time to gather maggots. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I don't understand the laws of nature as well as I might think I do. But so when they cracked open the bag of rotten fish, the maggots had already fallen. People are running for their lives. When they cracked open that bag of rotten fish, word is a few people had to hold in their barf.
Oh, I'd instant vomit there.
Oh, really? Do you puke kind of easy? Not that that's not a great excuse to throw up, but you can...
I don't puke too easy, but I think that's what would do it for me if I saw something like that.
I'm lucky I don't, because I hate that feeling. So yeah, I've got a pretty good stomach for something like that. I had another time we had maggots, a great amount of them. My wife, in her infinite wisdom, decided not to bag up some rotten chicken and just threw it in our outside garbage can.
Oh, that's fun.
Oh, did that reek?
Yes.
Woo! Was it summertime too?
It was summertime, Waffle.
Oh, even worse.
Did you get a new garbage can, or did you attempt to clean it?
I cleaned that sucker out.
Wow. You could have called me. I would have been there in 10 minutes with a new garbage can for you.
Well, at the time, I would have had to call, the garbage company.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, I suppose. I would have stolen somebody else's garbage can for you, Josh.
So again, they had to spin the airplane around and go back and load these folks onto a maggotless airplane. Maggots are falling like rain.
That'd be gross.
We're getting a lot of stink bugs now. Never got them before. Just this last year.
We are too.
I noticed, Nick, you had said you had a ton of them, and I thought, I've never even seen one, I don't think. And then maybe because I said that, they're like, oh, we'll show you what we look like. I found a ton of them yesterday in between our door and screen door.
Stink bugs. Yeah, my neighborhood has a problem.
I've never seen them. Do they live up to the name?
I've never smelled one. If you squish them, I hear that.
Only if you kill them.
Mm-hmm.
If you smash them, you'll never forget it. It's not really bad. It's just really unique, and you'll carry that scent in your nose until the day that you die.
What's it? Does it smell like anything we might recognize?
No.
No, it's its own thing.
It is its own thing. And yeah, our house is crawling with those damn things. 1 month, there'll be nothing. And then the following month, there'll be 10 a day. And I just run the vacuum like a sumbitch. I chase them around with the vacuum.
That's how I am with box elder bugs. Is it one side of your house? The north side of our house is what gets it.
It seems to be. Well, they get in the house. It's not just on the outside of the house. They're sitting in a chair with you.
I hired a security guard. They don't get in as much as they used to.
A few years ago, I told you, I think, that one of them was hanging out up in a light fixture above my head as I was eating dinner. And the sumbitch, he dive bombed me, and he landed he landed in my yapper.
Oh!
I spit him out onto the plate like a pumpkin seed.
Oh, good thing you didn't bite into it and kill it.
I found
stink bug juice in your mouth.
But I just got done saying, I was like, one of them friggin' stink bugs is up there, and I started windmilling mac and cheese into my yap, and suddenly, one of them was in my damn mouth. It's like he heard me talking trash about him.
It looks like they have like a shield on their back.
Yeah, they're not attractive. Yeah. They're disgusting. Boss lady, Jesus, this is why she's the boss. We're talking about this rotten fish that developed these maggots, and it's all over some lady. She ate half of them. She rectally took a couple of them. She has a theory here. Maybe they packed the maggots and just needed the rotten fish to keep the maggots alive. That's even more crazy if that's the case.
Good Lord.
I think you were onto something, Nick, when you said someone brings rotten fish. You're a little goofy, but that's even worse. That's why she's the boss.
Well, I got a text coming in here from a listener who says he used to manage a fleet of cars. Maybe similar to what you were doing there, Dana, for a while. What was that, a car rental?
Car rental joint, yeah.
Sounds like that kind of a thing. Yeah, so he rents some cars out. Someone returned a car. And I think it was his job to, make sure the car was all nice and clean and put it back in its spot for someone else to rent it. Opened up the trunk, almost barfed. They said they immediately threw up. There was a bag of fish in the trunk that sat in there for 3 days. We had to total the car because the smell would not go away. A bag of fish in the trunk of the car. That sounds like a prank to me. Like they were upset with you.
Yeah, an ex or something.
What did you do?
I didn't find it personally, but because we got to inspect the cars when they came back, and I worked at the airport branch at the center at this car rental location, and a guy comes in holding a bag and goes, "Hey, take a look at this. What's inside?" All sex toys.
Really?
I'm guessing what they probably did is they bought them while they're on vacation, didn't want to bring them back on the airplane, so they just left them in the trunk of the rental car.
Man, did you make a couple of bucks selling those things?
Yeah. Oh, we're running a special today. If you upgrade to a convertible, you get a free dildo.
Sprinkler Fitter Jesus has checked in, and there's certain times I'd imagine that in everyone's life where there's a moment that says, this is why I do this. This is why I get up in the morning. For a police officer or a fireman, maybe it's saving a life or something like that.
Makes it all worthwhile?
Yeah. Sprinkler Fitter Jesus said, well, I picked a hell of a time to have my breakfast sandwich. Couldn't swallow the last bite because I was busy dry heaving. Thank you for that. I needed that this morning.
Yeah, I like that.
And you're welcome.
All right, here's the deal. Ashley's down at the new Metrodome this morning. She's hitting on the drivers and the crew for this weekend's Monster Jam. Let's see what she's got figured out. So, Ashley, hello?
Can you do it now? Perfect. Yeah, let's do it. Hi, guys. Sorry.
Hi.
Hi, I have a breakfast sandwich. Speaking of breakfast sandwiches.
Oh, man.
Did we interrupt something over there? It sounds like you're having a conversation with somebody.
I need context to what was just said.
I was just asking if it's cool to fire up a truck.
Fire up a truck? Well, that's what we're sitting here and waiting on. Let her buck, Ashley. Who's out there? What truck do you have in front of you?
Mohawk Warrior.
Oh, dude.
Yeah, that one's pretty sweet.
Oh, dude. And you got the driver and everyone, and they agreed to light this sumbitch up for you?
Yeah, absolutely. Let's do it, right?
Well, yeah, I mean...
Yeah, I'd love to hear it. I got to say, that's disappointing. Oh, that's better.
That's better.
There we go. Oh, yeah, now we're talking.
Look out!
How was that?
That was cool.
Yeah.
It got better as it went on.
Oh, my God! Ashley!
Had they let you get close to the vehicles or maybe climb in one?
Oh, yeah, absolutely. I mean, I was standing maybe, I don't know, what do we say, maybe 10, 15 feet away from it.
So, no? They kept you at quite a distance.
I could if I wanted to, but they are going to, they're shooing me off the dirt right now because they're going to start driving them around, and I can't be down here,
Yeah,
so I don't get run over.
We don't want you getting killed.
Exactly.
But tell the folks at Mohawk Warrior we said hello and thank you, and maybe we'll check in with you shortly and hear what's going on in the background, Ski.
Absolutely. Sounds good. Thank you, guys.
Thanks, Smashley, down at the new Metrodome with the friggin' monster truck, folks. All right, whenever you feel like it, Cubby, just, go ahead and we can check in on Smashley. Yeah, you're
I'm glad
right.
she gets to go down there. She has fun doing that.
At first, when they fired that thing up, it sounded like somebody just farted in a bucket.
Yeah, that's the problem with cell phones, right?
Yeah.
Sometimes it just takes, it sounds like crap.
They can only take so much. Okay.
Let's get back to maggots. I know people are texting in. Come on, talk about maggots again.
Maggots.
Hot cocoa cheese is called the Ham's diet.
Yeah, it's the Ham's diet.
Mm-hmm.
The
It's
breakfast
effective.
ruiners.
Now, next up here in the stupid news, this here sounds like a quick and easy way to die a violent death. But I gotta admit, it's kind of funny, too. The pictures are just so effing ridiculous, it's difficult not to laugh. 2 dudes in New York City climbed up on top of a moving subway car, and then they gave each other a handy.
That's
what it
friends
looks like
are
to me.
for.
That's what it looks like to me. I mean, that is what's being reported. A double HJ while on top of a moving subway car.
Now I forget. Is that the Dutch rudder?
I don't know.
I get confused. I forget every time.
I don't spend any time on the Urban Dictionary. I can't always keep up with the hip, hilarious terms for every sexual move on planet Earth. But
I just got to try it so it sticks in my memory more.
Oh, my God.
You'll remember, dude. Once you've done it, you don't forget it.
Yeah.
These two guys, I ain't kidding you, they're funny. They've been called, quote, a pair of reckless clowns by the locals there in New York City. Broad daylight. There they were, up on the top of a moving subway train, just cruising through town, dumping hand action on each other. Twitter jumped on this as it was happening. Somebody tweeted, "Men appear to be having sex on top of a train."
Doesn't it kind of seem like it might have been a reach-around situation a little bit?
See, I don't even know what a reach-around is.
Oh, I'll show you what a reach-around
I
is.
hear all these, again, I hear all these terms, and I hear them, thrown into jokes, but I don't exactly know what does it mean?
We're both facing the same way.
We're both facing...
I'm behind you. I reach around and grab that thing you got.
Yeah, HJ, reach around, whatever you want to call it. These guys are having a real good time. And Twitter also posted the hilarious pictures. And this is where I couldn't help but laugh. In one of the pictures, one guy's full-on naked ass is hanging out the back of his pants.
Yep.
He's got my sex outfit on.
What does he have?
He's got his top is on, and his pants are kind of hanging around the ankles. Shoes still on, everything.
Dude, his full ass has cut loose from his pants. The other guy's standing right up on top of him, and this is where I think they're dishing out the HJs on each other. There's actually 3 dudes up there on top of the moving train. 2 guys, like I said, are handling each other, and the third dude is walking towards them as if he's saying, "Hey, fellas, you got room for one more over there?"
I just happen to be passing through.
The transit authority, the folks who run the subways there, they're pretty upset about this. They're pretty upset. They released a statement. They said the only thing dumber than riding on top of a subway train is dropping your pants in the process. These reckless clowns aren't thinking about the mess cleaners and other transit workers will have to deal with. And I know what you're thinking, but that's not what they're referring to. The mess that cleaners will have to deal with when their stupid stunt goes tragically wrong. They're referencing cleaning up blood, not what you were thinking. Good God, these effing guys. They've been trying to crack down on subway surfing in New York City, Cubby. People are getting killed
There's
dead.
a kid that just got killed not too... by kid, I mean a teenager.
Yeah, riding up on the lid of the subway cars. You're right. A 14-year-old kid fell off the damn thing, and he was killed dead.
There was another kid that decided he didn't like his head anymore, came right off when he hit something like a sign. It's disgusting.
Here's a new slogan here. Subway, beat fresh.
That's good.
I got a buddy who works for Metro Transit, and he's got plenty of stories. They see some stuff.
Oh, I'm sure
on
they
their
do.
Cameras, they see some stuff.
These hand job buddies there in New York City, it's dangerous, but those guys are funny. The pictures are very funny. I don't know how it is. Some people like a thrill to go along with their sexual activity. We can't just do it on the couch. Let's go up on the roof. Let's do it in a moving car. Let's, what else is there?
Just out in public in general.
Out in public.
Movie theater.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, I don't understand standing up on a train. That seems a little dangerous.
It's one of those things where they've done everything and they need to push it further in order to still get their jollies.
Where lying down on the train does nothing for me.
Mm-hmm. I just... That one got me yesterday when I was looking it over. That one cracked me up. Especially the third guy. Hey, fellas!
Yeah.
I'm over here. I got dibs on next. All right. Speaking of New York City, I think we're staying in New York City here. Our casual stroll to a fiery apocalypse is getting closer and closer. Folks just can't behave themselves. Yes, I'm correct. Manhattan, New York City. Here's more for you. Last weekend, a nut job in Manhattan tuned up a city bus driver for not driving fast enough for him. So, 58-year-old bus driver, he's just driving his route last Saturday. Unfortunately for him, a violent derelict was on board, too. Video and witness statements show that a passenger began yelling and swearing at the bus driver for not driving faster. At one point or another, when the bus stopped, this pant wetter, he then dumped a few punches on the bus driver. And then he also hauled out a knife.
Yeah.
But don't worry about it. This is cool. The bus driver, he took the punches like a champ because he's tough. And I'm sure this wasn't the first unhinged maniac he's dealt with in his bus driving career. But once the bus driver saw the knife, he got up out of his driver's seat and he wrestled that prick down to the deck and held him there until the cops showed up. Bus driver wasn't worried about nothing.
That's awesome. Good.
I got this. Oh, you want to dump a few punches into my noggin? Yeah, we'll see how this ends, bitch.
I don't have the courage to be a bus driver. I'm sure they deal with a lot of stuff that I would not want to deal with.
Oh,
Love driving, and I thought about going into some sort of driving career, but there's no way I'd want to deal with some of the folks they have to deal with.
The bitch who couldn't hold it together. He's 43 years old, acting like that. He was arrested. Cubby, one of my oldest pals, is a bus driver.
What kind? Like school bus or city bus?
Yes, sorry, city bus. And he hates it.
Oh, really? Because of this very reason?
Yes, because of the derelicts. What keeps him there? He loves his coworkers. He loves the benefits. He loves the pay. But every time I talk to him, he seems more and more defeated by society.
I don't blame him. You have to have a constitution I do not possess to be able to put up with that. Barsaw Jesus said he saw a documentary once where a bunch of people yelled at a bus driver to make sure that she didn't go under 50 or they'd all die. Pop quiz hot shot. What movie?
Trying to think now if my bus driver buddy has any great story. He's told so many stories, I don't think I could pick one.
Minnesota? He's driving to Minnesota?
Yeah, he started as a bus driver. And he had this is kind of cute. I mean, maybe you got to know the guy. This pal of mine, everyone's got one or two of these pals. He had a receding hairline in 6th grade. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
He could grow a beard when he was 3, you know. He got laid when he was 11. You know, he was a fast bloomer. What's the term there, Josh?
Yeah. That was good.
So by the time we were out of high school, I mean, the sumbitch looked 38 years old. That's just how he was put together. And he was 18 or 19 driving a school bus. And, you know, he was driving tiny little kids around town at first, 5, 6, whatever, kindergarten. And one of the kids said, "Mr. Bus Driver, how old are you?" And he said, "Well, why don't you guess? How old do you think I am?" And the kid said, 40. He was 18 years old.
Oh, no.
I mean, I know little kids aren't terribly tuned into that kind of thing, but that kid missed by a lot.
Yeah.
But he did. He looked old. What else is going on here? Multiple people in a place called Mesa, Arizona called 911 the other day to report alligators swimming around a lake in their neighborhood. Now, you guys tell me, alligators aren't a regular thing in Arizona, are they?
Not that I'm aware of.
I don't think so.
I think I'd be pretty surprised if I saw one.
These folks weren't completely mental that called in about the alligators in the lake. It's just these gators weren't real. It turns out that city officials recently added some realistic-looking foam alligators to the lake for birds and turtles to sit upon. You got to give a turtle a damn decent place to sit down. Those poor bastards. Got to give a turtle a place to rest. A few of the 911 callers were fully convinced that they were real alligators. One woman even claimed a gator latched onto her boyfriend's fishing line.
Here's some of those calls.
I think there's an alligator inside water areas. It's just like kind of hanging out.
There's like 3 live alligators in here. Yeah, there's one under the bridge. I think there's either 2 or 3. Right now, I'm looking at one that's just swimming around. It actually bit my boyfriend's fishing line, and we had to cut it.
No, it didn't.
Yeah, that never happened, but a few of the 911 callers, they thought it was real. despite the confusion, it doesn't sound like the city plans to remove them anytime soon, the foam alligator heads. They actually just added 2 fake hippopotamuses for the same purpose. I bet that looks kind of cool.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
Out there on the lake,
that
boring.
Would be cool.
And it's cool that give the birds and the turtles summers to chill.
I like how Lake Harriet put the Loch Ness Monster in there. I think a couple of the other Minneapolis lakes might have moved it around a little bit.
They did, yeah.
I thought that was pretty funny.
Cool idea. They just, I guess they might have wanted to give some of the dumber folks in town a heads up on this, but they'll get over it.
Maybe they did that to figure out which numbers they should block from 911.
Or maybe just to familiarize themselves with the homes because they know they'll be going there several times in the future.
Just put them on the map.
Could be. We were just rapping for a brief amount of time yesterday about those bidets, right? Bidets.
Yep.
Now, I got nothing against the idea of a water fountain built into a toilet seat that splashes folks in the ass. It's just now that it's become this trendy thing that hip people won't shut up about, just the word bidet gets me aggravated. But I'm going to go ahead anyway. A woman in North Carolina whose bottom must be absolutely filthy. She's wanted for stealing a bidet from a restaurant. The bidet thing was stolen a couple weeks ago, obviously from the ladies' room, at a joint called Mo Sweets. Her bottom must be just matted.
Yeah.
She's described as a white female with shoulder-length blonde hairs. The cops need help. They're asking anyone in town with information to contact Crime Stoppers. That's still a thing?
Crime Stoppers? Yeah.
When I read that, I thought, boy, I haven't heard anyone mention Crime Stoppers since I was a junior high kid.
Well, I've actually got a couple of stories in the news where the Crime Stoppers was involved. They're still there, man. Stopping crime. That's what they do.
She must just be terrible down there. How do you steal? So she stole? I didn't see the pictures. She pulled the entire toilet out of the ground? I don't understand.
No, there's like an attachment.
Oh.
Which I had assumed originally that either you have a whole separate device or you have to buy a toilet that's got one built in, but people were saying yesterday it's attachment. I was looking them up yesterday.
An attachment that like even ignorant bastards like myself could just quickly attach to my regular toilet?
Yeah, it looked like it was relatively easy to do. Huh. Some of them even you plug in, they heat your butt and whatnot.
I got to get a look at what it means to be a bidet. I guess I don't have a grasp of what's happening just yet. So, there you go. They're looking for this gal.
Just walked on out of their bidet, huh?
She walked kind of bow-legged.
Yeah. Maybe they saw the way she was walking, and they're like, you know what? She needs it more than we do.
Yeah. It's a mess down there. All right, I got an odd one here to close with. But kind of odd. But I guess there is good intentions behind it all. In Tennessee, 2 lawmakers have introduced a bill that would ban the sale of refrigerated or cold beer. I'm sure a few of you just gripped the steering wheel a little bit tighter when I said that. Ban the sale of cold beer? I thought this was America. I got aggravated. Cold beer is a wonderful thing. But I guess word is banning cold beer for sale is a step in trying to tackle drunk driving problems down there in Tennessee. They're trying to dummy down the drunk drivers and reduce deadly crashes involving alcohol. Drinking and driving is, of course, illegal in Tennessee, but this is another one of those states where you can ride in the vehicle with an open container. Open container laws do allow those traveling in a motor vehicle to drink Steve Weisers. So, the bill specifically mentions beer sold at retail. So I have to assume they mean bars, restaurants, venues could still serve cold beer. But then there are some down there who are arguing. How do I say this? It's right in front of me, but I'm not sure how to say it. Some are arguing that a bigger contributor to DWIs is beer sold at gas stations, grocery stores, and breweries. So, it depends on who you ask, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
Some of this stuff, though, some of this stuff would piss me off.
Like if you can't go to a Cub Liquor and grab a case out of the fridge?
Well, more so, this is the line that grabbed me. They're also leaning towards possibly bartenders putting a lid on the number of drinks they'll serve you when I can't prove that I have a designated driver. Maybe I'm not planning on having a designated driver right away, but maybe I'm planning on making a call at 12:59. You know what I mean?
Or you pull your phone and show them the Uber app.
Well, that's not going to happen with me.
No, yeah.
But I don't know. I understand the main goal is to try to keep drunk idiots from killing each other and killing innocent people on the roadway. I get that. Some breweries are kind of pissed off because, if they can't sell cold beer, what the hell are they going to do? Their beer requires refrigeration because that's what keeps it fresh, they're saying at the breweries. Others say this penalizes people who buy fresh beer to take home and drink there. Hey, I like to drink at home. I want to bring a cold case home. I don't want to bring home a warm case and have to sit around for a half hour or so for it to get cold. So it's a big mess. Who knows? Who knows where they'll go with this?
Yeah, you're right. It's tough, right? They have good intentions behind it, but it does suck that you have to legislate things for people that just can't be an adult, and it ruins it for everybody else who's responsible enough to go home and drink or have a ride ready.
Yeah, you could go in a million different directions here. I remember not that long ago, this was a big story in town, and it kind of aggravated me, being a guy who likes to sit at a bar. Bartenders getting punished when someone they served drove drunk.
Yeah.
I always thought, well, how does that make sense? And I saw so many interviews on television with bartenders who said, look, I'm busy as hell back here. I can't keep track of how many drinks everybody in the bar has in them before they leave.
And I don't know what they did before they got here.
And exactly. And also, it's a complete stranger. How can I tell if they're drunk? Maybe they always look that way or talk that way, right? Mm-hmm. We all have friends who kind of naturally come off high or drunk. Their delivery is lazy and kind of slurry.
Dude, I've got a buddy who everyone thinks is constantly high, and he used to smoke weed all the time. He hasn't smoked weed probably in 10 years. Everyone thinks he's high, so I know exactly what you're talking about.
Yeah.
The way he talks, just his whole attitude, everything, he seems like he's stoned 24/7.
Right. So I thought that was kind of dirty pool there, where bartenders are getting a ticket. Hey, here you go. You contributed to this guy who drove drunk. But what the hell? I'm just back here trying to do my damn job. I'm not a babysitter.
Itchy Bob Jesus brings up a good point. Yeah, that's really going to help. You can't serve cold beer. Here's a bottle of whiskey. That's a very good point.
Well, no cold beer? Well, then you better give me that big fat bottle of Wild Turkey.
Yeah, I'll take the room temperature Wild Turkey, please.
Oh, you want to talk about the old days with Wild Turkey? I'll tell you about that some other time.
Sports on the 93X Half-Assed Morning Show.
There's a reputation out there that I'm a jerk or something like that, which it is what it is, I guess. I'm demanding. I try to get the best out of the players. The fans in Dallas, I know they live and die with the Cowboys, but everybody loves the Dallas Cowboys, these fans. And, that's part of the draw, too, is to be excited about having such outstanding, loyal fans that live and die with you every Sunday. I'm the jerk.
Music has been taken out of this portion of the Half-Assed Morning Show podcast for licensing reasons.
All right, refresh my memory, Josh. Which late 80s, early 90s band that never quite made it created this song?
Wigwam.
Wigwam.
Or maybe it's Wham. I've never heard it pronounced. Wigwam.
Wigwam.
Is that current?
I don't know. It's from the show Peacemaker, starring John Cena.
Looks like it came on 2010.
Oh, I swore to God. I sweared to God. I was convinced you were going to say Shotgun Messiah or
nice
South Gang or
South Gang. Nice pull.
Yeah, what?
T-Ride.
T-Ride.
It does kinda sound like
Danger.
T-Ride.
It sounds like early '90s hair metal is just about to die style music. You know what I mean?
No, this got real big from the HBO show Peacemaker. And
Never saw it.
I don't think you'd like it.
Yeah.
There's a dance in the beginning that people love. There's an eagle that's involved.
Okay, I've heard you guys talk about this. John Cena.
John Cena's character Peacemaker, who all he wants is peace in the world, and he's willing to kill any man, woman, or child to achieve peace. That's his motto.
I thought maybe you were going to say Bang Tango.
Ooh, another good one.
All right, here's the deal. In the audio there, before we got to this sweet tune, former Vikings head coach and my old Eskimo brother Mike Zimmer says he's not a jerk. He just got hired to be the Dallas Cowboys defensive coordinator down there. He says he's not a jerk.
He sure has a reputation of being one.
Mm-hmm. He says, I got all these players texting me and calling me and congratulating me for landing this gig. If I was a jerk, I wouldn't get those phone calls. And what is this now? Former Viking safety Harrison Smith? He's no longer on the team?
That is news to me.
I know he's a free agent.
Maybe it's a misprint. It says former Viking safety Harrison Smith once said that my old Eskimo brother Zim was an acquired taste. Good luck to Zimski. All right, what's going on now? I got to get out of the way. We got things to do. Real quick, Timberwolves got the sweep. They beat Portland last night by quite a bit. So they won both games out there in Portland. And now they ain't got jack squat to do for a full week. 128-91 was the final. Friggin' Purdue beat the Golden Gopher basketball team. Again, the Golden Gophers put up a great fight. God dang. Effing Purdue. And Caitlin Clark broke the NCAA women's basketball scoring record last night. She dumped a three-pointer that put her over the top. We can get into all these wonderful, exciting stories in more detail in about a half hour when Brad Ryder and Randy Shaver dial in. And we're going to go ahead with Dad Fights, I think part 100 plus 59. But for now, let's take a break and come back with Josh's news report.
Half-assed morning show.
They're loud, they lose control, they do their little circus act, they're a nuisance.
93X.
Our experienced and certified technicians at Standard Heating have been trusted to keep our fellow Minnesotans comfortable and confident for over 90 years. We're ready to do the same for you, providing comfort you deserve since 1930.
Standard Heating is having their 94-year celebration. They have special offers just for you this February. Whether you need a new furnace or a tune-up, they have something special for everyone. Visit standardheating.com to save today.
On the Bigger Pockets Real Estate Podcast, co-hosts David Green and Rob Abasolo interview real estate investors and entrepreneurs about successes, failures, and hard-earned lessons. Joined by author Dave Meyer.
Who wrote a book? I did write a book.
It seems like you're coming out with a book every 4 minutes.
You are one to talk. You've released 2 books this year. I've done half as many as you.
It is more about strategy than it is about just finding whatever the new buzzword happens to be.
Bigger Pockets Real Estate Podcast on YouTube or wherever you listen.
Half-assed morning show. 93X.
Well, it's not the way any superintendent wants to start the day. We care dearly about our students. We care about our students' safety. It's our goal to ensure they always get here and get home the same way that we picked them up. Scary situation, but we're incredibly grateful that all students arrive to school safely.
This doesn't sound good.
Oh, it's not so good. A school bus driver with Rush City Public Schools was arrested yesterday for driving impaired after authorities learned the bus had left the roadway with children aboard. All you've done is you've given ammo to Pine City. They're never going to let you live this down. Mm-hmm. The Chisago County Sheriff's Office released a statement following the incident saying deputies arrived at the scene about 8:15 a.m. There they learned the bus had gone off the roadway with 49 children inside and a possible drunk bus driver.
Oh.
The driver, a 59-year-old woman, was questioned by deputies who determined she showed signs of alcohol impairment. She was subsequently arrested on suspicion of DWI and booked into the Chisago County Jail. I'd imagine it's going to get worse once they start throwing charges, with all those kids on board. I don't know. Do you think she just partied too hard for Valentine's Day and it just kind of stuck around till the next day?
Difficult to say, Cubby.
Did you wake up and have a couple of bumps?
Was she celebrating being recently named Miss Rush City for 2024?
Possibly.
Could be.
I'd like to know a little more about it, but thank goodness everyone's okay. A Virginia teacher was arrested and had to give up his teaching license after he gave his class an assignment asking them to come up with different ways to kill one of his students. I get tired of these stories where, how are you supposed to know that's not a good idea? And this guy's being persecuted for this? Although, I am a bit surprised he was arrested, but...
that is funny.
Come on, man.
If you were going to kill little Donnie, how would you do it? That's the assignment?
Yeah. Again, it's hypothetical except for the part that it was a kid in his class this was directed at. The Crestwood Middle School teacher instructed his students to write how they would kill one particular student in his class. They then dutifully listed ways to kill the selected classmate, with court documents describing how the students came up with ideas to chop him up, throw him out a window, burn him alive, and then feed him to his dog.
Oh, no.
Police became aware of the incident when the bullied child went home that night and told his parents. During an ensuing investigation, police reportedly asked what could have prompted the teacher to come up with the writing exercise, to which the teacher said it was hard to engage the class, and the student at the center of the assignment didn't appear to be upset at the time. He later pleaded guilty to a misdemeanor count of contributing to the delinquency of a minor and voluntarily surrendered his teaching license.
Man, that's tough.
It's creative writing, okay?
I'd imagine that is a very difficult job. And yeah, trying to engage some students, keep them interested, and be creative.
I would bet when the kid went home and told his parents, they didn't believe him at first.
There's no way they'd believe. They'd think, you must have misunderstood.
You imagined something.
Yeah, it must have been a little bit different than the way you're describing. I know nothing about teaching, and I fully admit that it's got to be a difficult job. But even I think I would know that might not be the greatest idea.
That is good stuff.
A Florida woman smacked her son Tuesday, breaking the little kid's glasses.
Oh, no.
Because he called her a booger face.
Did he call her his own mother?
Yeah, he called his own mom a booger face.
A booger face, and she just cracked him right across the eyeglasses.
Yeah, she did.
I remember when we were kids, a kid down the street called me a booger bone butt. Have you ever even heard of that?
No. I like that one, though.
Booger bone butt.
Yeah, you can't call mom a booger face and expect her not to go to jail for it. 46-year-old Betty Union, angered by the name calling and retaliated by striking the victim with a partially opened hand. The confrontation Tuesday evening led to Union being busted on a felony charge and booked into the county jail. She cannot control her temper very well. A booger face. I think I'd laugh if I was called a booger face. Mm-hmm. And she might have had a booger on her face. Police report didn't say.
Yeah, he could have meant it literally.
A 20-year-old Tennessee man had a domestic altercation with his ex-girlfriend Leslie Torres at her residence. Torres reported that she recently broke up with Giovanni Murillo and asked him to return clothes she had left at his house. Torres later heard a vehicle honk its horn in front of her home. She stepped outside and saw her belongings on fire before Murillo drove off. Torres reviewed footage from her front door camera, which showed Murillo exiting his vehicle, placing her clothes on the ground, and setting them ablaze. He was taken into custody Tuesday for vandalism.
Set all of his stuff on fire.
Yeah. He set her stuff on fire.
Oh, yeah. Sorry, I had it backwards.
Burned up her clothing and whatnot. A Nebraska woman took a knife to the face after she complained about her friend's dirty home. 911 dispatchers received a call shortly after midnight Sunday from a caller who said her cousin, a 24-year-old named Tatiana, stabbed their friend after an argument. The victim told Lincoln police that she went to Tatiana's home and made a comment about the untidiness, especially because two kids, ages 2 and 4, lived there. At some point, Tatiana began attacking her cousin and started choking her. The victim tried to break up the fight, but Tatiana allegedly grabbed a knife and threatened to kill her. The victim put hands in front of her face to protect herself, but Tatiana allegedly stabbed her below the right eye. When police went inside the home, they saw an extreme amount of feces, quote unquote.
Feces?
And tons of dead mice.
Really?
Clothes were scattered everywhere, and dog poop was reportedly covering towels and clothes throughout the home.
Oh, that place sounds like it sucks.
Yeah. The lady just mentioned, hey, maybe you want to clean it up. And then she got all stabby.
Just dog turds and everything all over the place.
Everywhere, they said.
I've seen some things like that before in my day. A true garbage house.
Luckily, I haven't.
I ever tell you about my one trip to a true garbage house?
Yeah. Wasn't this a coworker?
Yeah, I've known some hoarders. Certainly known some hoarders in my day. And that's not what this was. This was just true garbage and they were just so oblivious to it. They didn't think it was out of the ordinary at all. Yeah, so a coworker invited me over to his place for a couple of beers before we were going to a concert. And I walk into the place, and I'd never seen anything like this up to that point in my life. It was just wall-to-wall garbage on the floor. There was no place to sit because of the garbage, newspaper, plates, everything you could imagine. But the thing that grabbed me was cat turds, fresh cat turds on the stovetop.
Oh,
that's not where you want the cat turds.
And when the guy invited me into his home, he didn't say anything as far as, hey, sorry, I'm a hoarder, or sorry, I'm insane. I know my place is beyond disgust. He just, hey man, sit down. So anyway, at work today was pretty fun, right? He just acted as if there was nothing at all to see here.
Yeah, I always have to say, hey, the place is a disaster, even if it's really not that much, because I'm always worried about that.
Mm-hmm.
With like dog hair, and kids are always sticky and wet. I can't figure that out. A sicko stabbed a stranger who confronted him for urinating in front of a building in broad daylight Wednesday. 27-year-old man was standing outside a condominium building in New York about 4:10 p.m. Wednesday when he spotted another man relieving himself there. The victim called the man out for his lewd behavior. It sparked a fight, which ended with the creep plunging an unknown sharp object right into the side of the man's stomach.
Oh, I bet that hurt.
Oh, yeah, I can imagine. Police said the injured man was taken to the hospital for further evaluation. Sounds like he's fine. That violent attack came just weeks after a box cutter-wielding creep urinated on a car in the East Village and viciously attacked the neck of a caretaker at a nearby church who asked him to stop. You may remember this story.
A neck attack.
Yeah. The 54-year-old victim received a lengthy gash which required 16 stitches, but he's fine now. No arrests have been made in either case. A 60-year-old Nashville man named Logan Hall refused to leave a West Nashville Walmart on Wednesday. Security officer Wanda Robertson and Philip McCoy, a loss prevention officer, they alerted authorities, advising them that Hall was trespassing and told to leave. When he was caught shoplifting, he did take off. But then Hall re-entered the establishment, sparking an argument with Robertson in the entryway. And it was during that argument he pulled on his pant leg, releasing some fresh-made feces to the ground. As Hall was taken into custody for vandalism and criminal trespassing, officers noted that a customer had nearly stepped in Hall's freshly made feces.
He literally shook a turd out his pant leg.
He did, right in front of everybody.
And this was in an attempt to emphasize the argument he was making, or?
Yes, this was an anger turd.
Gotcha.
Did you ever have to deal with anger turds when you were a loss prevention professional, Josh?
No. Good. No, we never did. Masturbators? Yes. No pooper that I remember. You mean when I was on the force?
When you're on the force, yeah.
After she stole thousands of dollars worth of chewing gum from a California store, police are searching for a woman who presumably has butt breath. January 27th, the woman was captured on surveillance cameras stealing about $1,800 worth of gum from a store in Irvine. The same woman is also accused of committing similar gum thefts at stores across Orange County. Police said typically stolen items will likely be sold on the secondary market for cash. However, police noted this particular theft was more unique. When it comes to retail theft, authorities said they generally see thieves steal higher-priced items, such as razors or baby formula. And when I was on the force, that was the case. It was razor blades, meaning the kind like the refills for shaver.
Right.
Cartridges. Shave yourself. Yeah, cartridges, thank you. And baby formula, fishing lures, that was another big one. In more gum news, a new study published by researchers from the University of California, Davis, reports that sugar-free gum and candy give you bad gas. The researchers said changes in the gut microbiome can lead to difficulties in digesting sorbitol, a sugar alcohol commonly found in sugar-free gum and candies.
Sugar-free gum and candy.
Makes you toot.
Well, I remember that about
I've always thought, well, then what the hell is the point? The first time I heard about sugar-free gum and candy.
the sugar-free gummy bears are big for a while because the internet discovered that it will just make your butt go on fire.
If you, if you want some fun, read the reviews on Amazon for those gummy bears, the sugar-free gummy bears.
Yep,
it's
they'll
good
get
stuff.
you.
And in other unusual shoplifting news, a teen is on the run after he allegedly broke into a Florida business, stole lobsters, and cooked them. 19-year-old Christopher Scott also stole a golf cart, but he left it at an adjacent property. A new John Wick experience will debut later this year in Las Vegas. The experience will feature specific missions for each group of guests, which will entail rubbing elbows with Continental staff, assassins, crime bosses, or other guests like themselves within the relative safety of the Continental. It's the latest collaboration between Lionsgate and Area 15, a immersive entertainment company, which also helped launch various Saw and Blair Witch escape rooms in Las Vegas.
That sounds lame.
I think it sounds pretty cool.
Just kidding.
I think it'd be fun.
I'm trying to start that whole John Wick argument, and I didn't mean anything that I said.
I know you didn't. I think you'd like John Wick. But I think.
I don't know.
My neck just squeaked.
It
I don't know if you
happens.
heard that.
Well, likely never.
I gotta oil it.
Well, just relax.
You'll never watch it.
Right.
Yeah.
I'm sure you're right about that.
New music out this week includes Art of Anarchy, Let There Be Anarchy, with lead vocalist Jeff Scott Soto.
What? Jeff Scott Soto?
Yeah. Jeff Scott Soto replaced singer Scott Weiland, who replaced their previous singer Scott Stapp.
Scott Weiland, Scott Stapp, Jeff Scott Soto.
Yeah.
Those are three names you shouldn't try to say quickly in a row.
They're going on tour with the Property Brothers, Jonathan and Drew Scott, and Sean William Scott, Stifler in American Pie, 6-time NBA champion Scottie Pippen, and all-elite wrestler Scotty 2 Hottie.
That's a hell of a bill.
For the rest of what's new in rock this week, check out the latest notable new releases post on 93x.com.
Wait a minute. Scotty 2 Hottie died?
What? No.
Oh, I thought you said late wrestler Scotty 2 Hottie.
I said all-elite wrestler.
Oh, for the love of Christ.
Yeah. No, he's doing okay as far as I know.
You just scared me a little bit.
Yeah, no. If I said that, I don't know why those words would come out of my mouth.
I got to get the corn cobs out of my ears.
Speaking of our notable new releases post, our guy Bill, co-worker Bill, whose name, for whatever reason, Dana and Ashley can never remember. They always want to call him Will. Bill, he's got a birthday on Sunday. Happy birthday, Bill. He puts together the notable new releases post, a lot of the great stuff on our website. He's our podcast editor and a hell of a co-worker, great guy. So hope you have a great birthday on Sunday.
That was listening. Bill's house with the cat turds on the stove.
I didn't want to say. He is a gross individual. New in theaters, Liam Hemsworth and Russell Crowe in Land of Bad. When a Delta Force team is ambushed in enemy territory, their only hope lies with an Air Force drone pilot to guide them through a brutal 48-hour battle for survival. Also on the movie side of the weekend's entertainment, Oppenheimer makes its Peacock streaming debut today. On TNT, the NBA All-Star Celebrity Game, and then the 73rd NBA All-Star Game takes place Sunday night, also on TNT. Tonight on CBS, the 7th season premiere of SWAT, the Season 2 premiere of Fire Country, and Season 14 of Blue Bloods begins tonight as well. Sunday on Fox, the 2024 Daytona 500. On HBO Sunday, the 4th season finale of True Detective. The 3rd season premiere of CSI Vegas airs on CBS Sunday. And after releasing a teaser episode a few weeks back, the animated comedy Grimmsburg officially begins its inaugural season Sunday on Hulu. Birthdays over the weekend. Molly Ringwald, 56 Sunday.
Ringwald.
Dr. Dre will be 59. Matt Dillon turns 60, and John Travolta will be 70. Tomorrow, Green Day's Billy Joe Armstrong turns 52, and both Michael Jordan and Larry the Cable Guy will be 61. Tomorrow?
I bet they hang out.
Those two guys? Mm-hmm. Absolutely. Then today...
I know which one I'd rather hang out with.
Oh, yeah. I think that's an easy choice. Today, retired Pittsburgh Steelers running back Jerome Bettis, 52, Ice-T, 66, and LeVar Burton, Geordie LaForge on Star Trek, The Next Generation, and the host of Reading Rainbow.
Love that guy.
Me too, 67 today. Sending our thoughts and prayers from the brother and sisterhood to Wisco liquor truck driving Jesus' mom. She's 80, having open heart surgery this morning. Get well soon to Mom. Happy 26th to mediocre machinist Jesus tomorrow. Happy 53rd to Howard, who's going to have a birthday on Sunday from his son Hatch Daddy Jesus. Happy birthday to BJ down in Florida. Happy golden birthday to William, turning 16 today from Mom and Dad.
Whoa.
And that's 93X News.
Care 11's Randy Shaver.
On the Half-Assed Morning Show.
Here comes Clark. How will she go for history? There it is! From the logo, the all-time leading scorer in women's college basketball.
Caitlin Clark now has 3,528 points in her career. Let's hear it one more time for number 22, Caitlin Clark.
Hey! All right. Hey, Randy Shaver. Hey, Brad Ryder.
Good morning.
Good morning.
It's great to hear your voices. It is just great. And also Smashley. Is she around?
Yeah, she's on hold. Guys? There she is.
Smashley's been down there at the new Metrodome this morning, welcoming in the drivers and the crew and everything for this weekend's Monster Jam. Listen to that. They're going up and down and speeding all over the track. Are you a safe distance away, Ashley?
Yes. I've been told to move quite a few times so I don't get run over.
You've had 2 hours to jump in one of these vehicles, run some errands for me, and then bring the vehicle over here, and you're still there.
Yeah, still here. I got to hop into Megalodon, which was very exciting. A lot different from the time that I got to get into Gravedigger, because they had a Gravedigger's got an open side on it.
Okay.
You can just hoist yourself up there, but with Megalodon, you got to get behind the shark's fin and sneak your way up there, which is it's quite the situation there.
It looked pretty sweet. Yeah, you can check out our. I saw on Twitter. Our Twitter account has pictures. Are there pictures anywhere else, Dana?
I'm not sure. Ashley, are there?
No. I haven't been able to throw anything on the website yet.
Okay. So you just got up into the vehicle. They didn't spin you around the track or anything, did they?
No, I don't think OSHA allows that, or whoever's in charge of the safety here.
What is OSHA?
OSHA.
Well, that's cool.
I will say it is really, really cool being at the U.S. Bank Stadium this early, watching the sunrise through their the open windows here. It's beautiful.
I'll tell you what, that's cool. So you've seen a few of the trucks and met a few people, and I understand you got a free breakfast and all that. So,
having a great time.
Well, we're glad to hear it. Tell everyone down there we said thank you for letting us bother them this early in the morning. They're not used to getting up this early and racing trucks around just for our entertainment. So tell them we said thanks.
Yeah, absolutely. I will do.
And look out for yourself as you're walking off the track. Don't let these guys roll right over you.
And don't forget to complete all those errands for Nick. He's very particular.
You got to stop at Rexall Drug. What's stop at CVS? Josh needs some Anusol.
I do. If you wouldn't mind.
Okay. Yeah. I
hemorrhoid cream.
I got a list right here.
Write it down. Cubby hemorrhoid cream.
And when you go through the drive-through of McDonald's, make sure that the monster truck can, get underneath the clearance. Otherwise, go into the store. Don't do the drive-through if it's not going to make it through.
How cool would that be to take a monster truck through a drive-through? Man, I'm going to put that on my bucket list. That and the Anusol.
Anusol, I don't know how to say it. We'll see you soon, Smashley. Tell everyone thanks again.
Absolutely. Thank you, guys.
And if you feel like it right now on the Luther Bloomington Kia text line, text TOTAL to 651-989-9393 for a shot to win club-level tickets to Monster Jam, which is this weekend at U.S. Bank Stadium. The prize is furnished by Feld Entertainment. Appreciate it, Feld Entertainment. Club level, that sounds like big shot stuff.
Yeah. That's Ray, you've got a diversified portfolio if you're ever sitting in club level.
And the word again is TOTAL, 651-989-9393. Got a text message earlier from a listener who said he used to haul the monster trucks from town to town.
Cool.
For a year, he had a job as a trucker. He hauled Mohawk Warrior, which we heard ripping around the track earlier. And Monster Mutt Dalmatian from town to town, and he said 3 words, best job ever.
Huh.
Best job ever.
When I was a kid, I actually thought they drove the monster trucks from town to town.
Well, why wouldn't you?
Yeah, I just thought but we might see one going down the highway one day.
When you saw a WWF truck and it showed Shawn Michaels and The Rock and Sable on the side, did you think they were riding inside?
They're all in the back just hanging out.
Yeah, Undertaker's driving that one. All right, boys, so last night, Caitlin Clark broke the NCAA women's basketball scoring record. She dumped a 3-pointer. From a great distance away. Randy Shaver, is this the biggest thing to ever happen to Iowegians?
I would say no. It's certainly a great personal story.
Well, name something bigger that's happened to Iowegians.
I would say when Hayden Fry took Iowa to the Rose Bowl for the first time, probably it was in the early 80s.
Early 80s, yeah.
Right. After Iowa was so bad for so many years, that would have been probably the biggest story.
Okay, but this is right up there.
It is, and she's such a great ambassador for basketball, period.
Oh, yeah.
And the way she goes about it, I mean, that 3 she made last night to set the record, good Lord, it was like from Cedar Rapids.
Yeah, that was.
I mean, she just has no hesitation on her shot, and she was amazing last night. She scored 49 in the game. So
the analogy I heard last night that I liked is and I know people throw around comparisons all the time, and they're not comparing her as an athlete or a player to Kobe Bryant, but they have so much similar mentality because they just, nothing phases them.
Yep.
Nothing phases her at all. I mean, she's been in big games and stuff, but she came down basically like, I'm going to hit a 3, I'm going to hit a layup, and I'm going to hit this 3 from about 40 feet out, and I'm going to get it done right away.
Yeah, she scored the 8 points in the first 2 minutes of the game.
She scored 49 on the night?
Yeah,
she did. Yeah.
That's a nice way to, little icing on the cake kind of a thing.
And she also had like 14 assists. She's incredible. I mean, she's not just a scorer. If you watch her play, she is not just a scorer. Yeah, she shoots a lot, but she gets her teammates, the ball too.
Right.
She gets them open. She's not just taking on people 2 and 1-on-2, 1-on-3. She's finding teammates.
Which is why she's so loved, right? Because she's not a ball hog. She's not always going to shoot. She'll take her shots, don't get me wrong, but she gets everybody involved too. And her teammates love her. It's just great.
All right. That is great. And wasn't it, I know the man is dead, but wasn't it one of you two guys said you really did not like Hayden Fry? Is that the liquor talking?
Oh, I never said that.
I swear to God, am I nuts? Once we were talking about Hayden Fry.
No, I didn't say that, but I have a Hayden Fry story where I actually called him Coach Fox instead of Coach Fry one time.
Coach Fox?
Yes.
And did he flip
by
out?
accident. No, he just was silent. No, it was one of those Tuesday teleconference things when I was an intern at the U, and so I was charged with calling up the opposing coach and getting him on the line and Randy was probably at this press conference. But I that was back in the Minnesota State coach days.
Oh yeah.
With Coach Fox was the fictional character. Hayden Fox, and I accidentally called him when I talked to him on the phone. I called him Coach Fox.
Oh, I see. You mistook him with the character from the television show.
Yes.
Okay, and I just realized what it is I'm trying to come up with.
And he didn't say anything back to me, and I said, I apologize, Coach.
I'm
Coach
sure
Fry.
you weren't the only effing guy during that time period that got him screwed up with that stupid sitcom, right?
Probably not.
No, hell no. Because that sitcom was terrible. Aside from Jerry Van Dyke, that was one stupid program. Anyone with me on that, Coach?
I liked Coach.
I did too.
Show sucked. All right. I got something else on Iowa. Remind me, I got something else on Iowegians that I'll bring up a little later. What did I have in front of me? And it dawned on me what I was talking about with somebody out there disliked Hayden Fry. And I mean, I'm getting old. I'm losing my grasp on things. It was my dad. My dad would bristle at the sight of Hayden Fry when we were young people watching college football on television. There was something about him. My dad just couldn't stand the sight of Hayden Fry. That's what it was. All right, speaking of college hoops, tell you what, Golden Gopher basketball, my damn.
Yeah. They scared him a little bit.
They did. What I'd like, if the University of Minnesota ever wants to reward me for my dedication to their men's basketball program and always watching and always being a fan no matter what, if the University of Minnesota wants to reward me, send me the video of the first half of last night's game and the video of the first half of the Iowa game. Because in those two first halves, the Golden Gophers were the best basketball team in the country.
Yeah.
Had a big lead over Iowa. Had a decent lead over Purdue last night. But, unfortunately, you play more than 20 minutes. They fought like hell. They came pretty close, but they couldn't quite take down Purdue last night.
Yep. I mean, if you look at where they were a year ago, 2 years ago, and where they are now, where the program is now, you have to tip your cap to Ben Johnson. He's done a good job.
Whoever is working on the NIL program over there better lock down something for Cam Christie in a hurry.
Yep.
Isn't it amazing how improved that kid is over the last 3 months?
Yep.
The early games this season, he looked deer in the headlights. That is one skilled player, that Cam Christie.
Yeah.
You're right, Brad Ryder. And, again, you're right, Randy Shaver. Great difference between this year and last year. They're coming close. They're competing, but they couldn't quite get over the hump last night. That friggin' big 7-5,
they were a
dude.
16-point underdog.
There you go.
In Vegas last night.
Another college basketball note here for you. The men's college basketball game between Farley Dickinson and Long Island University was delayed last night after multiple Farley Dickinson players got stuck in an elevator prior to tip-off. They were heading, kind of like what happened to Spinal Tap. They were heading from the locker room to the floor, to the court. They had to get on an elevator to go one way or the other, and they got stuck in there.
When my youngest was born, my mother-in-law and our 2 older kids got stuck in an elevator at the hospital because they were jumping at each floor.
Sure.
And I got to tell you, when they woke up the elevator repair guy to come out there and he found out what happened, he was not excited about that. He read them the riot act.
I have experienced the woken out of a dead sleep elevator repairman, and that individual was not happy either. My brother decided to slam dunk my car keys down an elevator shaft one night. One night in St. Paul, we were going to the Pigs game, and my brother's getting cute. He was like, messing around with, because I handed him the keys and said, "You're driving tonight," because my brother doesn't drink, and we were going to get full of beer at this hockey game. In the process, I handed my keys to my brother. He got cute with it and slam dunked them down at the bottom of the elevator shaft. So at 11 o'clock at night, when we're done with the hockey game, we had to wake up the elevator repairman to come out and get the keys from the bottom of the elevator shaft. That dude was friggin' pissed off.
Oh, I bet.
I'll bet.
Oh, he was pissed off.
What did that cost you?
I don't remember. It wasn't terrible. You think I would have remembered if it was terrible. Cost us a little pride, I guess.
Yeah.
But last night, the boys got stuck in an elevator. It took them 20 minutes to get out of there. Fire department had to come and crack the damn thing open, so the start of this basketball game was delayed 20 minutes or so. That's funny.
That is for good.
One of the players who was stuck in the elevator was asked to describe the experience, and he simply said hot. Now, what's that supposed to mean?
Not a lot of air movement.
I don't know.
Well, unless the cheerleaders were in there with them.
Timberwolves, they got the sweep in their cute little 2-game series with the Portland Trailblazers out there in Oregon. The final last night turned out 128 points to 91. Anthony Edwards had a good game. Had a 30-point lead. They
in the first quarter.
Yes, they were able to produce the most lopsided first quarter in the NBA this season. At the end of the first quarter, the Timberwolves led 44-14. Of course, the Blazers were able to get back into the ball game.
They did.
But then the Wolves turned the heat on again and won by more than 30 points there. That's their 20th road win of the year.
Yeah, everything certainly impressive. There's no doubt. They go into the All-Star break as the best team in the West, and they've proven that. So, kind of feel a little bit bad for Edwards and Towns and Finch because now they've got to travel, or did travel, I'm sure, overnight from Portland all the way to Indianapolis. I'm sure they were like the farthest away from the All-Star site of any players.
Yeah. They're a little sleepy.
So, yeah, it's going to be a long weekend.
They got a full week off now. Next week, the fellas start a 7-game homestand. Their first game after the break is a week from tonight at home against Milwaukee. Game time? Game time?
8:30.
8:30.
9 o'clock.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
So we can have that cute double whammy on TNT. We got to start a game here in town locally at 9 o'clock. You guys know this. I hate this new gimmick. So dumb.
Well, if you want them on national TV more, that's what's going to happen.
Right. Like I said, so they can have the cute double whammy on TV. Okay, right. You mentioned the All-Star break. Are you ready for this? The NBA Celebrity All-Star Game is always loaded with people that I've never heard of.
Usually I'd know more than you on this, but I don't think I could name maybe 3 of them.
Okay. This is how they're doing it. They've got Team Shannon, because one of the teams is coached by Shannon Sharp.
Noted basketball expert.
Right.
Noted Indiana native, too. Okay,
Yeah.
It's like, okay.
Right.
And his assistant coach is 50 cents.
I like how you call them 50 cents.
Yeah, I know.
Let me tell you who's on the team. Annual AA.
Nope.
That's a reggaeton artist. Reggaeton? I thought it was Reggaetron. Maybe that's a transformer. A YouTuber. Named Kai something. I'll just get to the guys that maybe you heard of. Okay, Micah Parsons.
Sure.
Mm-hmm.
And that's it for that team. Out of the people that I'm serious. Out of the people that I think you've likely heard of.
Walker Hayes.
Who's that?
He's that country artist that did the Fancy song.
The Fancy song?
Yeah, Applebee's on a date night.
Oh, Fancy like.
Yeah.
Applebee's on a date night is what he sings about?
Yeah.
I hate him already. Oh, how about here's a WNBA player named Jewel Lloyd. Okay. The next team is Team Stephen A.
Oh, boy.
God.
What? Why do you guys dislike Stephen A. Smith so much?
I miss the Mannings already.
Josh and I are the only guys in town that like Stephen A. Smith.
I understand, though. I used to feel the same way. I don't know what it is, but my feelings have changed.
He's kind of funny.
Colin Cowherd, barf. Oh.
I understand completely why you wouldn't like him, but
you can't compare Stephen A. Smith to friggin' Colin Cowherd.
You can if you want.
Shaver has given him permission.
Yeah,
come on, Randy Shaver. You really think that Stephen A. Smith is as big of a dildo as Colin?
I am not a fan
of Stephen A. But wait a minute. I understand you're not a fan of Stephen A. Smith. There's no way he is as big of a know-it-all jag-off as that Colin Cowherd. No way.
I would say no. I would say they're both in the same area.
League? Yeah. All right. The coaches for this other all-star team, Stephen A. Smith, Lil Wayne,
yeah.
And someone named Ja Wilson.
Nope.
Nope.
All right, on that team, here's the people you might have heard of. Meta World Peace. That might be fun.
Yeah,
sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, so hopefully can keep him out of the
Let
crowd.
him in the stands.
Yeah. Oh, give me a break. If he goes into the crowd and tunes somebody up. C.J. Stroud, the quarterback for the Texans.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Oh, Jennifer Hudson, the terrific singer and actress.
Oh, sure.
Mm-hmm.
Sure.
I've seen her before. And, this team's actually got a couple people. What's your name over there? Josh. A.J. McClain from the Backstreet Boys.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. I almost became Eskimo Brothers with him.
Oh, you should have.
Yeah. I thought you were going to say you almost became a Backstreet Boy.
Oh, no, I don't have the talent or the hair.
Yes, you do. Slam dunk contest participants. Mac McClung, Jaylen Brown, Jacob Toppin, Jamie Jacquez Jr., and Curtis. God dang it, I thought I had the three-point contestants. Tyrese Halliburton, Trae Young, Curtis, Malik Beasley, Jalen Brunson, Karl Anthony Towns, Lauri Markkanen, and Donovan Mitchell. Root for Karl there, obviously.
Curtis has the look to be in a boy band, don't you think? He's got some sex appeal.
He used to.
You don't think he's aged well?
Well, he's had 3 hip replacements.
Oh, I haven't seen him in a long time.
University of Minnesota men's hockey is at Notre Dame. And it says here, Justin Close is closing in on history. He had 2 shutouts last weekend against Penn State. That makes 13 for his career, which ties the program record. One more, and he'll be the all-time shutout leader for Golden Gopher goaltenders in the history.
That's pretty impressive.
Very cool.
Mm-hmm.
The article here was written very poorly. You'd think that they would, give you a distinct chart or whatever a grown person might call it, showing you this goalie had that. They don't do that. They just mention other great Golden Gopher goalies when it comes to shutouts. Jack LaFontaine, Adam Wilcox, my former landlord, Rob Stauber, Kent Patterson, Jeff Frazee. I was surprised not to see Frank Pietrangelo in there.
Yes.
But that's pretty good company. And he is also a top 10 semifinalist for the Mike Richter Award, which goes to the top goalie in college hockey. The bigger picture is the Golden Gophers have been playing well lately, and they're currently number 8 in the all-important pairwise rankings. Did you see the video? Did you see the video, everybody, of Bo Jackson?
Yeah.
No. Sorry, maybe I should have had this involved in when we were talking about college basketball. Bo Jackson was at an Auburn college basketball game.
What does Bo know?
Jack squat at this point. He's just an old man now. He don't know nothing. Bo Jackson loves Auburn. He went to school there. Greatest running back. Certainly at Auburn, maybe in college football history.
Just a great athlete.
So Bo's there with his pom-pom and everything. I mean, he's pumped to watch the college basketball game. Some college dope student comes around and with a cell phone in his hand, "Hey, Bo, can I take a selfie?" And Bo said, "No. Watch the game." It's a funny video, watching him disregard this kid.
That kid looked strung out.
Yeah, he kind of looked like you, actually, a little bit.
Oh, God, his eyes were so red and sunk in. Ooh.
Anybody besides me have the Bo Nose poster back in the day?
I had buddies that did, yeah.
Yeah. That was a cool poster.
Mm-hmm. God dang, you had the Bo Nose Nike poster.
He looks pretty good for his age.
Oh, he does.
Yeah.
Especially after what he's been dealing with. You remember what Bo Jackson's been dealing with for like a year straight?
No.
He had a case of the hiccups for about a smooth year.
Yep.
Oh, my God.
I do remember that now.
Yes.
He had a procedure last year, I think.
I think it's been corrected now. But I remember reading an article where he straight up said, "I'm about ready to go nuts and throw myself in front of a train." He had the hiccups for a year.
Do you remember the strangest thing he tried to get rid of the hiccups?
No, I don't.
He smelled the butt of a porcupine. He said he was so desperate he had heard that was one of the things you could do, and he did it.
Man, I have those for 5 minutes, and I'm driving myself crazy.
Yep.
Yeah. Porcupine ass.
No thanks.
He took a huff of that.
Dangerous, too, I'd imagine.
How do you get the thing to sit still?
That sounds like a Friday with Wapple.
I bet Wapple's been high enough to try that, or maybe even to think he did it. I don't know what you smelled, but...
Hey, Jesus. Mr. Porcupine.
Oh. Jesus. Lenny Dykstra had a stroke.
Oh, gosh.
He hasn't been the best person.
He has not been.
But Lenny Dykstra, the old baseball great from the Metropolitans and the Phillies in the 80s and 90s, he had a stroke. He's resting. He's comfortable. His teammates have been visiting him and saying he's doing all right. And this is the first I've heard of this. Before we get on to our regular Friday business and the boys fight, are you guys aware of some grand eclipse that's coming to town here this summer?
I just heard about it yesterday.
No.
What do they call that? A solar eclipse?
Solar eclipse, lunar eclipse.
Yeah, I don't follow these things. I'll get there. I'll
Total
explain
eclipse of the sun.
Or the
you
heart.
mean of the heart?
Bonnie Tyler,
1982. This is about the Cleveland Guardians. Their first home game is scheduled for April 8th at 5:10 p.m. And that's 2 hours after this total solar eclipse is going to hover right over Cleveland. Now, the first time I heard this, I thought, well, we can see this from everywhere, right? It's the friggin' sun. Apparently not. This is all brand new to me. I've never, ever studied anything close to this. So it's going to be such a perfect spot to see this solar eclipse. Cleveland, Ohio is like right in its path, that they're altering the schedules of when they're going to open the gate and when they're going to start the ball game, because they're expecting 200,000 people to come to Cleveland on or before that day in order to get a good seat for this solar eclipse. People are renting out their houses already in Ohio and in Cleveland because so many people from around the world want to come to town and see this solar eclipse. And like I said, it's getting in the way sort of the Cleveland Guardians home opener.
I have to look up this path because normally it's a narrow path. It's got to be going over some other places too.
I remember last time people traveling to get the peak spot to look at it.
I had never heard of that. I thought, well, for God's sake, we can all see the sun. How is there a better vantage point?
I think I see a partial one anywhere, but I think there's a narrow path where you see the whole thing.
Yeah, it says right here, Brad Ryder, Cleveland is one of a few major cities in North America in the path of totality, is how they say it. That's just weird. It's all fresh to me. You're trying to have a home opener, and there's 200,000 extra people in the city sitting in lawn chairs, putting on their sunglasses to watch the Josh.
Doesn't help to have a day game when the sun disappears.
Right. Josh, when one of those came to town here, didn't you and the family go to the highest peak in Egan or something like that?
No, we stood in our driveway.
You did?
But I thought, I don't need to do the eye protection everyone's talking about. It'll be fine. And I couldn't see for 3 days. Did you guys look at that thing?
No, I went straight home and I went to bed. But I remember us talking about it on the radio. Today's this solar eclipse or lunar, whatever it was. I didn't care, so I went home, went to bed. But
I thought I screwed myself pretty good there. Like I was seeing the eclipse for a handful of days after.
What is the highest peak in Egan?
The highest peak in good question. Maybe the mansion you live in. Standing right on top of that.
Yeah.
I'll tell you right now.
The water tower?
Yeah.
Maybe. Yeah.
Oh no, what's that? They got a fancy apartment building.
Oh, where a lot of the Vikings players live.
Yeah. Maybe that.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
I hear you. All right. Well, I guess we can talk more about that as we get closer to the start of the baseball season. Apparently, Cleveland's in real trouble. All right, take off from the free throw line there, Wapple, and slam dunk that dad fights button.
Dad fights! Dad fights! You don't have a dad, here's what it's like. Dad fights! Dad fights! Randy and Brad, they just fight. And the dad fights, yeah!
Just got a text message from Cheesehead for Life Jesus. He's bitching about the Milwaukee Bucks being on a 10-game losing streak. Have they won? They've lost 10 games in a row?
I think they're like 7-3 or 3-7. Excuse me.
Oh, I was reading about how things aren't going so well with that Greek freak Damian Lillard combo. Sorry.
What do you mean?
After they fired their coach.
I was just about to say. I'm like, great move.
Yeah, we talked about that a week ago or so. I think, we were all kind of amazed by that. You fire the coach, he's doing so well. You hire Doc Rivers. Oh, wow. Sorry about that, Cheesehead for Life, Jesus. Okay, every Friday, our little pals here, Randy Shaver and Brad Ryder, get together and Eiffel Tower a series of trivia questions that we have prepared. We call the gimmick Dad Fights. What you're listening to here is, am I right about this? The 159th edition of the game.
No.
No?
158.
Oh, you made it sound like I was off by 30. 158. Mm-hmm. Okay. 158. It's been a poke. That much is for sure. Today is real simple. The NBA All-Star Game takes place this weekend. It ought to be a hell of an operation. The best players in the league putting on a show for the fans. They got the skills. They got all the money in the world. They get all the ass a guy could ever want. It's their time to shine. But what about the NBA All-Stars that came before them? What about the forgotten NBA All-Stars of days gone by? The forgotten NBA All-Stars, they had the skills back years ago. They made a few bucks in their day, too. There was a time when all the trim was headed in their direction, but those days are long gone. And Josh and I know the feeling. Today we're going to quiz you two clowns on the forgotten NBA All-Stars. Sure, they were pimps at one point or another, and hell, they made past All-Star rosters, so they won't ever be truly forgotten, but these are guys that don't instantly come to mind when folks talk about NBA All-Stars. And welcome back, Ashley.
Hi.
Nice
I
to
missed
see
you
you.
guys.
Yeah, we missed you too.
The feeling was mutual.
You didn't want to miss this, did you?
Didn't take you very long to get back. That's
About 10
impressive.
minutes.
We're very close.
I will say, it is a way different driving at this time of day. I feel bad for anybody that has to drive to work while the sun is impossible. Like, you cannot block it with your visor. You're blinded out there.
Pretty sunny. You're
Yeah,
saying.
a little trouble on the way over. Okay. Well, yeah, welcome back. The Forgotten NBA All-Stars is where we're going with the 158th edition of Dad Fights. As usual, we'll give you all kinds of hints and information on these fellas. You know, the years they played, the clubs they played for. You just got to up and name the pricks. And it's going to be a hell of a lot of fun. You got to be the first to answer correctly. That's the name of the game. Shout out the correct answer. If you're correct, you'll hear this here bell. What do you think this week, Wapple?
So Caitlin Clark got the scoring record.
Sure.
And previously this week, someone played the sad tuba.
Oh,
So we're going with that.
Okay, what you're referencing is earlier this week she missed a couple of free throws playing a game at Nebraska. The band gave her the sad tuba, and that upset the Iowegian ladies basketball team. So in honor of that, if you get one wrong, we're going to sad tuba your ass. You can steal a point if your opponent answers incorrectly. 10 challenges plus a tiebreaker if needed. Setting things off this morning, former 93X TakeOver Jesus.
This is former 93X TakeOver host Jesus. From South St. Paul, Minnesota.
I want a good, clean fight.
Red Rider, Randy Shaver. One, a local radio icon who's your mom's favorite voice. The other just happens to be banned from driving golf carts in the metro. No. This is Dad Fights 158.
Oh, he kept that short and sweet, didn't he?
Yeah.
Thank you, former 93X TakeOver host Jesus is what he said. If you want to do a Dad Fights intro, here's how to get a hold of us. Send an email to hams93x@gmail.com. Give us your name, give us your info. We'll get you lined up. Remember, these guys, hell yeah, they made the All-Star game back in their day, but maybe not the first names you think of when you talk about NBA All-Stars.
Our first All-Star played 13 seasons in the NBA from 1975 to 1988 with a lone All-Star appearance in 1980 as a member of the Clippers. He went by Lloyd at the time of his
World Be Free.
Very good. World Be Free is the correct answer. Lloyd Bernard Free officially changed his name December of 1981, the day before his 28th birthday. He said his friends back home gave him the nickname All World in junior high, which was eventually shortened to just World.
That's hilarious. I love that name. World Be Free. I remember him. He was not afraid to go bald young. That's one thing I remember about World
How
Be
young?
Free.
Can you guess?
I mean, Jesus.
'Cause 24 is when I started. Was it younger than that?
If I remember right, someone look up old. If I remember right, when he was a young guy playing in the league, he had a completely bald head, but he grew it out thick on the sides and the back, like all of our dads did. You know, before that generation of guy didn't really care about their haircut so much. You know what I mean? Right? Am I looking at pictures of work? Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Bald on top, fat as hell on the sides and the back. He wasn't shy.
He could grow it on the sides and the top.
Oh,
My
yeah.
goodness.
Oh, yeah.
I could grow some good hair on the sides if I wanted.
Me too.
You guys should do that sometime.
I have to cut.
My kids want me
What's
to.
left of my hair, I have to trim so often. It's friggin' frustrating.
I do almost every day.
I wish the rest of it would just die.
Yeah.
Because it gets to be a pain in the ass. Nice one, Randy Shaver, with World Be Free as our first correct answer in Dad Fights. All right. Here's a former All-Star known for his knack for rebounding and intensity on defense. He won back-to-back national championships with the Florida Gators in 2006 and 2007, and would later make back-to-back Eastern Conference All-Star teams in 2013 and 14 during his 9-season run with the Chicago Bulls. Won a couple.
Joakim Noah.
Oh, my goodness.
I couldn't think of his first name at first.
Nice one, Brad Ryder. Joakim, whatever, close enough. I had forgotten that he played for a spell here. I'm sorry.
No.
Sorry. I'm thinking of somebody else. Don't worry about it.
Not him.
Don't worry about it. Joakim Noah.
His college teammate did.
Wrapped it up in 2020. Married a Brazilian supermodel.
Oh, that's awful.
Yeah.
And it says
Feel
here,
bad for it.
It says here we should look her up. Lais. I have no idea how to say this gal's name. Lais Ribeiro. Ribeiro. Lice, whatever, Ribeiro. These days, he's an ambassador for the Chicago Bulls. Joakim Noah.
His dad is Yannick Noah.
Right. The old pro tennis player. That puts Brad Ryder on the board with 1 point.
This 6'11" basketball Hall of Famer played 14 seasons in the NBA from 1970 to 1984. He made the All-Star game in over half those seasons, 8 total between his time with the Pistons and Bucks. And as Kareem Abdul-Jabbar's character, First Officer Roger Murdoch, said in the movie Airplane, dragging Walton and
Bob Lanier.
Bob Lanier is the correct answer. Lanier was also hired to be the coach for Woody Harrelson and Wesley Snipes in the 1992 original version of the movie White Men Can't Jump. Lanier said both actors reached a D2 level of play, but said Woody was the better of the two.
They were D2 level. And Woody was better than Wesley Snipes.
Yeah, that's what Bob said.
That's really interesting that he was the coach for the two of them while they were filming that basketball movie. Does anyone know, can you look this up, how big a pair of shoes did Bob Lanier wear? Because long before they talked about how big Shaquille O'Neal's feet are, NBA fans talked about the size of Bob Lanier's feet.
22.
He wore size 22 shoes?
I didn't even know that was a thing. Actually, it's funny when you start to look up Bob Lanier, the first thing that it recommends is to look up his shoe size.
Is that right?
Yeah.
It auto-populates shoe size?
What about Shaq? How does that compare to
22s?
They both have 22s.
It says when Bob Lanier was 11, his shoe size was also 11.
Wow.
That's great.
And to custom order those, you're not going to get those down to Piggly
I was
Wiggly.
gonna say, you're not going to walk into Foot Locker and say, hey, you got a size 22 for me to try on.
I remember him playing. I remember watching him as a kid, and that's what I always heard. His feet are enormous. 2-1 Randy here as we continue on, talking about forgotten NBA All-Stars in today's edition of Dad Fights. Here's a fella. Played 13 seasons in the NBA, and his lone All-Star appearance came in 1987 when he was with the Golden State Warriors. He may have only the one All-Star game on his resume, but he's the all-time career scoring leader at Georgetown.
Sleepy Floyd.
God.
Oh, good one. Yeah.
So he definitely didn't snooze his way through his career. Yes, Sleepy Floyd. I never would have been able to tell you he was the leading all-time scorer at Georgetown. I remember him playing there. Great player. Played with Patrick Ewing and such. Got the name Sleepy in 4th grade when a spectator yelled during the game,
"Wake up."
Well, sort of. Spectator yelled, "Get that kid out of the game. He's sleeping." Yeah, he did have kind of heavy eyes. If you look at pictures of Sleepy Floyd I thought it was just because of his appearance that he got that name. He had kind of heavy looking. Sleepy Floyd was one slick player. That makes it 3-1, Randy.
That's correct.
Who was hanging on to life, it sounds like, in the background. Are you all right, Randy?
Yeah, I'm trying to.
Something's going around.
Gut it out?
Yeah.
This legendary big man was the number 1 overall pick by the Cleveland Cavaliers in 1986 after a stellar career at the University of North Carolina. Big Dookie, or Hooch as he was known, played his entire 10-year career with the Cavs and made 5 All-Star games in 1988, 89, 91, 92, and 93.
Brad Daugherty.
Randy's good.
Yeah.
He's one of my favorite centers to ever watch play the game. Brad Daugherty.
Huge NASCAR guy.
Yeah, that's a part of the analysis here. Huge, lifelong NASCAR fan. He became a NASCAR analyst on NBC. He even co-owns the NASCAR Cup Series team of JTG Daugherty Racing. He said he wore jersey number 43 as a tribute to Richard Petty, who he calls his favorite sportsman of all time.
Isn't that something?
That's cool.
Yeah.
Brad Daugherty. God, I loved those Cleveland Cavaliers teams of the late 80s. Let's see, maybe I shouldn't start spitting names out. I want to make sure they're not involved in the contest. No, they're not. Guys like Larry Nance Sr. and Mark Price and Hot Rod Williams.
Could never get past Michael Jordan.
Nope.
It's impressive that a guy like that could, be a basketball player all his life, but take that knowledge of NASCAR. And I don't watch NASCAR much, but when I do, he's really good.
Yes, he is. Yeah. He is. Great at what he does there, analyzing races. Yeah. Brad Ryder, are you going to make us go home early here?
No, I'm going to try. I'll give it a shot here.
4-1 Randy, and he's on his last legs.
I
know. Here is your next challenge. Despite not being selected until the second round of the 1978 draft by the 76ers, this point guard went on to have a Hall of Fame playing career and is still a coach in the league to this day. His first 4 appearances in the NBA All-Star Game came in 1983, the same year he helped lead the Sixers to the championship.
Maurice Cheeks.
That's right, it's Maurice Cheeks. God dang. Remember this? This was cute, too, in a long time ago, but pretty memorable. 2000+3. When he was head coaching the Portland Trailblazers, a 13-year-old kid was singing the national anthem before the game, and the kid froze up and forgot the lyrics. Maurice ran over and helped her finish singing the song.
That was a cool moment.
Yeah.
Brad is just getting 2, 3. You can still tie it, Brad.
Yeah.
Yeah, you hung over, Brad? What's going on, man?
No, I'm fine.
It's fine.
Because if I was going to try to explain something, people would think I'm making excuses, but I won't.
That is true.
Yeah.
So I won't.
Even if it's legit.
No, it's fine.
And again, I think I'm safe in discussing again. You guys know this. That was my ultimate favorite team.
Yeah, they were fun.
Early 80s 76ers with Dr. J and Bobby Jones and Moses Malone and Maurice Cheeks and Andrew Toney and all the... There you go. Brad, we need you here.
Okay.
You're down 5-1.
This 7'1" Hall of Famer, known for his passing skills as a big man, started his pro career in his homeland of Serbia before being drafted by the Lakers in 1989.
Vlade Divac.
It's over.
Oh, wow.
Wow, Randy.
It's over.
Stop the fight.
Well, Randy has all that experience when he worked for a professional basketball team.
Yeah.
Oh, no, that was Brad.
And so many of these happened, after 2010 when I worked for the professional basketball
Brad.
team. So, yeah.
Vlade Divac, he said, Cubby.
Yeah. Who, by the way, made an appearance on an episode of Married with Children. Kelly Bundy repeatedly tried to seduce him by sneaking onto the court during the All-Star game.
Oh, how I prayed that Kelly Bundy would try to seduce me.
I think we all did. He also appeared on one of Nick's favorite shows, Coach, and in the movies Space Jam and Joanna Man.
Joanna Man.
I never saw it, Joanna Man.
I haven't either.
I can't remember the actor's name, but he pretends to be, he's a washed-up NBA player, I think, and he pretends to be a woman so he can play in the WNBA.
Oh, I did see bits and pieces of that. God dang, Joanna Man.
So now I have to ask, you guys can't hear anything in the background?
No,
You
Really?
did, Wapple?
Yeah, it sounds like dudes powerlifting.
Yes, that's exactly what, Waffle, that's what's going on right below me.
I hear nothing in the background. Explain to us what's happening.
So I'm in my office, and this doesn't happen very often, but one of the sports teams here, I think it's our football team, is lifting right now, and the weight room is right below me. and all it is crashing weights and loud music.
I hear nothing.
I was shocked nobody could hear, but I didn't want to bring it up.
Yeah, I heard it before.
We can
we
hear
were in the game.
How is it that we can hear the leaf blower in the
That's
parking
what I'm
lot?
asked. That's what I'm wondering. I don't understand that.
Can't hear a friggin' thing. Well, go down there. What kind of reps?
Let's go down and join them, Brad.
Yeah.
I should. You're right. I need it.
Go do some power squats, Brad.
Right.
What would you work on, Brad, if you went down there and joined the college kids? What would you work on?
I probably my abs.
Your abs?
Yeah.
Abs. We were also going to ask you about Paul Millsap.
Okay.
To see if you could have nailed that one. Paul Millsap, a forgotten NBA All-Star. Had a great career, really did, but not the flashiest guy in the world. Oh, and this one hurts me. Kevin Duckworth.
Oh, gosh.
Trailblazers.
Yes. I loved that. Clyde Drexler and Jerome Kersey and Kevin Duckworth and Terry Porter. Who am I missing from that guy? Oh, Clifford Robinson.
Oh, sure.
Mm-hmm.
Who passed away.
Yeah.
Kevin Duckworth died young, and it was terrible. His heart failed on him.
He was a big guy.
Yeah, he was. But wasn't he fun to watch?
Yeah.
He looked like he didn't belong, Kevin Duckworth. He was quite heavy, but he could be really smooth. Luol Deng?
Oh, gosh.
Was going to come. Was that who I almost ruined it earlier, who said played college with Joakim Noah?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I had to stop talking there because I almost ruined it. But it didn't really matter because we didn't get that far, did we, Brad?
No, we didn't.
5 more feet of Fury She's is comparing Randy's performance today to Michael Jordan's flu game.
That's how I feel.
Yeah, you sound terrible.
That's funny.
Are you taking anything? Are you all right?
I am. I'm trying. But
you take the weekend
I
off?
don't feel bad. I think it's more of sinus than it is anything else.
Sinus issues with
so your mind is still
sick.
fine. You just don't sound good.
And then we were going to also maybe get to Danny Ainge if we had to, but we didn't have
Danny
to.
Ainge, only one-time All-Star.
Mm-hmm. We didn't have to because Brad got whooped.
Yeah.
You guys have a great weekend. Randy, get well. Brad,
I
work
will.
on those abs if you can.
Sure. Yep.
And we'll talk to you guys on Monday.
Okay.
Thank you very much. Oh, coming up next is kind of exciting because we're going to take a moment to talk to the guy behind rentahitman.com. And if this is new to you, it's not what you think. It's not what you think. We'll explain shortly when we talk to Bob from rentahitman.com next on the Half-Assed Morning Show.
Half-Assed Morning Show.
They're loud, they lose control, they do their little circus act, they're a nuisance.
93X.
Our experienced and certified technicians at Standard Heating have been trusted to keep our fellow Minnesotans comfortable and confident for over 90 years. We're ready to do the same for you, providing comfort you deserve since 1930.
Standard Heating is having their 94-year celebration. They have special offers just for you this February. Whether you need a new furnace or a tune-up, they have something special for everyone. Visit standardheating.com to save today.
The Ed Milet Show showcases the greatest peak performers sharing their journey, knowledge, and thought leadership.
This is one of the all-time best pieces of advice ever given on the show.
Author and coach Tony Robbins.
You don't experience life. You experience the life you focus on.
Singer Jason Derulo.
My happiest moments have always been in the grind.
Singer Jewel.
I think healing is a gritty job. It's you looking in the mirror and going, what do I got? No one's coming for me. I'm coming for me.
The Ed Milet Show is available on YouTube or wherever you listen.
The only really way to start to get rid of them is to vacuum them up, sweep them up, put them in a large garbage can, and then just kind of throw them away.
The 93X Half-Assed Morning Show.
I hear ya. 8:29 here Friday morning. This is pretty cool. We don't normally do many interviews around here because we generally don't like people or trust strangers. But we were talking about this guy just earlier this week, talking about this guy and his website, and we thought, what the F? Let's take a chance. Rentahitman.com finds its way into the news often these days, and if you don't know why, here's the guy to explain everything. He runs the website, and he goes by the name of Bob. Hello, Bob, and welcome to our show.
Hey, guys. Thank you very much, and it's a pleasure to be here this morning.
Wow, we appreciate you taking the time. I mean, we've been hearing stories up and down for how long has it been now? How long have you had rentahitman.com up and running on the godforsaken internet?
Yeah, so I've owned the domain for 19 years. It was initially registered for an IT startup specializing in pen testing and network risk analysis, with hit being the keyword. However, it hasn't been in its current state until about 2014.
Okay. 19 years. Wow, that's a long time. But what changed in 2014?
Yeah, actually, 2014 is when the website was basically retooled, repurposed into what it is today. A parody look at what a corporate murder for hire type website would look like, complete with its own HIPAA privacy statement, fictitious customer testimonials, and forms that individuals can fill out in their own words as to who, what, when, where, and why.
Does it surprise even you how many people seem to fall for this and believe you can legitimately go online on the regular web, not even the dark web, and hire a murderer?
Sadly, it doesn't surprise me anymore. But it's crazy. I get new requests coming in every single day, and overworked, understaffed, underpaid. It's tough to get to all of them, but it's getting easier to pick out the ones that are serious and that need attention.
Okay, I was going to ask you that, if you've developed a way to tell who's just joking around, because your website has made national news so many times from people who continue to fall for it, or maybe fall for it's not even the right word, but believe it's a legit service to have someone killed. What do you look for specifically for, I think this is 100% someone who wants to have someone murdered?
Yeah, so I can generally get a gist of a request within, just briefly looking at it, whether there's significant information about the solicitor themselves or the target themselves, whether they include pictures, whether they include social media, what links they go to on the application itself. So
it's got to be chilling.
Yeah.
And so
sometimes it is.
When you get these people who think that they're logging onto your website to hire someone to kill somebody, your first step immediately, when you are fairly sure it's legit, you call the cops?
No, I give everybody a chance to turn and walk away. I typically will wait a few minutes or a few hours before responding back. It's like a cooling off period. Then I'll ask them two questions. I'll ask, do you still require our services, and would you like me to place you in contact with the field operative? You know who they are. If they respond back with, no, I was just kidding, have a nice day, okay, that gets filed in one bucket. However, if they come back and say, yes, they want to move forward, they want to have a field operative consult them, well, they've just escalated this themselves. They know where that's going.
I mean, the story we were telling earlier that made us want to give you a call, Bob. The story we were telling earlier this week was a guy who wanted to have his girlfriend's mother killed.
Oh yeah.
You probably field so much. Do you even know the one I'm talking about?
Oh, I do. Leaf. He's one of our best clients. Yeah.
He's contacted you multiple times?
Yeah, he reached out to us a couple of times, 2 or 3 times over the course of a week or so, indicating he had a beef with his future mother-in-law.
Okay. And again, it's very obvious when folks log on to your website that this is satirical.
It's tongue-in-cheek.
Yeah, it should be obvious to everybody.
Right.
But, yeah. After all, the website is 100% HIPAA compliant. HIPAA is the Hitman Information Privacy and Protection Act of 1964. So
that's so good.
We're talking with Bob. He runs rentahitman.com, rentahitman.com, and his website has turned into front page news over and over again the last couple of years because people keep contacting you and saying, yeah, I'd like this person killed or that person killed. What is, if you can do this kind of arithmetic, what is the most popular weapon of choice when someone thinks they're hiring someone from rentahitman.com to kill somebody?
Weapon of choice, I have to say that a lot of them refer to having somebody get shot. So, sadly, it's just, good old-fashioned firearms. But
is there a gruesome example that might have been requested over there?
Yeah, There was a one several years ago. A person identified as Pete in Alaska wanted to have the blood eagle.
Oh,
dude! And unfortunately, that's just a little beyond the scope of our business. So.
Oh my goodness!
He
Now
hates that person.
I'm familiar with that from the show Vikings, and man, if you are not aware of what the blood eagle is, Google that. That is brutal. Somebody would request something like that.
Yeah.
Oh
yeah,
my
it was
goodness.
pretty bad.
Bob, has this made you
a millionaire?
Well, really,
No.
if you want to talk about that, I'm happy to talk about that. But what I was going to say was, has this made you just completely untrusting of society and just kind of disgusted and disheartened when you have so many people out there looking to have somebody killed?
Well, obviously, yeah, it is a dark and pretty terrible situation, but I choose to make the positive of this. So I've, this is the year I'm turning the website. But we have a new focus. So we're going to work on creating a nonprofit that's going to focus on advocacy, education, and legislation. Just briefly, advocacy, I'll still continue to reach out and be an advocate for people that may never have known they were a victim in the first place.
Right.
Or a target. Second, I'll educate children and adults on the dangers of the internet, cyberbullying, and, what to do and how to report that and that kind of thing.
Sure.
And then third, legislation. This is important because a lot of these cases around the country, when they're adjudicated, when they've gone through the courts, the sentences vary from 3 years probation to 20 years in prison. And, we want to kind of level the playing field. Some states take this a little bit more seriously than others. And, obviously anybody that wants to commit any kind of murder for hire type crime over the internet, they need to get educated. They need a timeout. And,
true.
That's what I'm here to help provide at this point.
That's very interesting.
So the people that are sending in these requests, I'm not asking you to name any names, but are they typically people within their lives, or do you see a lot of celebrities or known figures that are targeted?
Small percentage turn out to be celebrities, political figures, and that kind of thing. Mostly it is retaliatory against a bully or people pissed off at spouses, that kind of thing.
Exes and things like that.
Yeah. There's a perfect case involving an ex out of Michigan. This woman got a divorce from a person several years ago. And he moved out of state. She continued to stay bitter in Michigan. And I think they'd been divorced for 5-6 years. And she still wanted this guy gone. Wow. She's sitting in jail for about the next, I think she's looking at 9 years or something. But it's crazy. I mean, it really is.
I'm not sure if you're aware, but we're a radio station in Minnesota. Do you remember any Minnesotans that sent in a request?
Well, funny you should ask. No, actually,
I don't like the sound of that. Where the hell are you going with that?
No, actually, Minnesota is turning out to be a pretty safe state. I think in all the records that I've looked at over the last at least 5 years, there's only been about 16 requests from Minnesota. The troubling part is 4 of those requests originated from school ISPs, Internet Service Providers. So, I mean, and some of the cases, you have students that, want their bully taken out, killed because I don't want to go there anymore. She betrayed me kind of a thing. So a lot of this, there are kids that reach out to the website, and those are the tough ones to deal with. But I'm hoping with the creation of a nonprofit that should, bring this to light a little bit more. So
there's also a section on your website where someone can apply to be a hitman.
Oh, yeah.
How often does that happen? And of those, how many of those do you think are actually serious, where they think this is a career they can get to by going through your website?
Yeah, it's funny. I got another application for employment yesterday. I primarily see the applications coming in from overseas. People in India and parts way out there looking for a gig. And
dude,
man, yeah.
And they talk about what would make them a great killer for hire and things like that?
Sometimes they share credentials. Yeah, it's pretty freaking scary. There's wow, man.
Dude. I mean, when this is all said and done for you, are you just going to shut down the internet and never look at it again?
I may end up doing that fairly soon anyway. It's pretty crazy.
I think it'd be a good idea.
Yeah. I think my next venture is going to be a Cash for Cats website. You got your catalytic converter you want to sell. Hey, hit the website up. It's probably.
I thought you were talking about felines.
Yeah, me too. Well,
I thought maybe because of this dark period of your life with rentahitman.com, you'd want to do something just nice and cuddly and just sell cats on the internet.
Yeah, it gets dark.
I'm sorry if this was already asked, because we're excited over here talking to Bob from rentahitman.com. The victims, the folks who are being, folks contact your website and say, I want Donnie and Johnny and Ronnie killed. Do you contact those victims? Do the police contact those? And if you have talked to any of them, what is their reaction like when they find out somebody is trying to hire a hitman to kill me?
Yeah, great question. So far, I have never reached out to any of the intended victims. I've never I've never gone that route. And number one, I don't know the full story. Maybe this person has it out for the other person.
Sure.
Maybe they're willing to take it out before law enforcement gets involved. That would be a bad situation. So I don't want to tip anybody's hand,
Right.
And it's best to let the field operatives or law enforcement sort out those details.
There you go.
I just feel it's the best step in the process.
No, that's good thinking, Bob. Those are some great points that you made.
Yeah, so on a final note, guys, hey, if anybody wants to help support the website, they can go there. They can click on the support link. They can buy Guido a cup of coffee. The website up and running and highly caffeinated, and we'll be looking forward to people can reach out to the website as well. So it is safe to go to. It's on GoDaddy. You're not going to be on any kind of list or anything like that. So.
That's a question that I just received from a listener texted in. Aren't I going to end up on a watch list of some sort?
Yeah, I was even afraid reaching out to you, going on the website. I was like, is this? I don't want the FBI to be following me now.
Nah, you're cool.
You especially don't need the FBI following you, Ashley.
Exactly.
Well, Bob, what a damned adventure it's been for you here with rentahitman.com. It's really interesting, dark, scary, but also very entertaining stuff, and we appreciate you taking time to chat with us this morning.
Hey, anytime, guys. You always reach out anytime. I'll be more than happy to, tell you the latest adventure. So.
Yeah, and it seems like you're no shortage of them, so we appreciate you being willing to do that for sure.
Oh, yeah. Hey, there's more coming in every single day.
Oh, I bet.
That's the scary part.
That is scary.
Thanks, Bob. Have a great weekend.
You too. Rock on, guys.
All right.
Bob from rentahitman.com. That is fascinating.
Yeah, with all the national attention that website gets, the fact that people still fall for it.
Yeah.
I mean, it's insane to me.
It is.
I had multiple people tell me, they're like, well, you're having him on air. Isn't that kind of exposing the fact that it's not real? I was like, people are still going to fall for it.
There's no shortage of idiots.
Well, we were talking about it earlier. It's been a national news. I mean, he's been on national news programs.
Right.
Yeah, I mean, that's terrifying that there's still folks. They weed themselves out, I guess.
That is part of the fun, and it's a valuable service in the end. Some of these derelicts are going to weed themselves out of the equation. And Bob, I don't know if we covered this, I can't remember now, but when we were reading about him a few days ago, he says, I think I have the number right, he says he thinks the website has saved around 150 lives.
Dang.
That's really awesome.
That's incredible. Never in a million years.
You're listening to the radio.
The 93X Half-Assed Morning Show.
Yeah, there you go. I've been ready to go home for about the last 2.5 hours, but we got a few minutes yet here on the program. Before we GTFO.
Look at you.
What?
I was impressed by that too.
Yeah.
GTFO?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. You sound like a young person.
Oh.
Really?
What?
GTFO.
WTF. I've been saying that for years, GTFO. That's just my style. How about we swing by dictionary.com? You know, I'm going to go contact them later today, Josh, and see if they'll kill somebody for me.
I think you got the wrong side.
Let's swing by dictionary.com. Here's the deal. They added 327 new words and terms to dictionary.com. That's what they do this time of year. So I got 10 of them, 10 new words added to dictionary.com. I'm going to say them out loud. We're going to turn this into a contest. If you know the definitions of these terms, you say your name first, and then you give us the definition. We're turning it into a contest.
All right, I'm ready.
All right. These are the new terms that went in. If you know them, you say your name, and you give us the damn definition. Bed rotting.
Dana,
go ahead.
That's where you just spend the whole day in bed and don't do anything.
He's correct. The practice of spending many hours in bed during the day, often with snacks or an electronic device or both, as a voluntary retreat from activity or stress.
The best.
Josh has a problem with that stress. Oh, he gets tight.
It'll get me.
He gets tight.
Is bed rotting just a synonym? Oh, God.
Go ahead. No, I'd like you to keep going.
Synonym for being hungover?
Well, it wouldn't be a synonym for it. So to answer your question, no.
I'm glad Josh got in there because I don't know the definition of synonym.
Same. Anybody? All right, never mind.
That's one for Dana. Bed rotting. Okay, the ick.
Ashley.
Josh.
That sounded like
Yeah,
Smashley
Ashley got
jumped in there. Go ahead, young lady.
When somebody, like when you're attracted to somebody and then they do something and then that makes them no longer attractive.
I'm going to give her credit for that one. The definition I have in front of me from dictionary.com, a sudden feeling of disgust or dislike, often in response to the actions of another person. He or she gave me the ick.
Yep, people were saying that when Travis Kelce was like singing that Viva
Las Vegas.
Viva Las Vegas, they like panned to Taylor Swift and they were like, yeah, she just got the ick.
I hear you. He gave a lot of us the ick when that happened.
Yeah.
Dana's weird beat-off browser history is what I thought the answer was for the ick.
We got ways to go here yet. Our next new word in dictionary on dictionary.com is, I'm counting on you here, Wobble, mid.
Josh.
Oh, Josh has it.
Yep. The section of my body I feel the most shame over. My midsection.
That is incorrect. Wapple, I think you were going to get in there and define mid for us.
Yeah, like average.
Yeah, my mediocre. My youngest says that all the time.
I'm going to give Wapple a point on that one.
Or it's really bad weed.
Yeah, mids.
Mm-hmm.
The first person I ever heard call somebody or refer to anything as mid was who, Wapple? Because I'm guessing he was the first for you as well. Maxwell Jacob Friedman.
Oh, no.
On AEW Wrestling, I'm watching Maxwell Jacob Friedman, and he's referring to other wrestlers as mid, and I had to keep rewinding. What did he say? I couldn't. It took maybe a dozen times to where I could finally understand what he was saying and understand what he meant with the term.
And it works perfectly in wrestling because mid could also be your mid-card.
Mid-card. Mm-hmm. The definition here for mid, mediocre, unimpressive, disappointing. If you're any of those things, you are mid. But things like movies and shows can also be mid. All right, get ready.
Yep.
I'm saying these terms. My cohorts are going to try to define them. They need to say their name out loud before they can answer. Because you guys know all the fresh things that come around the bend. Bussin'.
Ashley,
define bussin'.
it's when something's like really great.
She's right.
Oh, that's bussin'. People say that.
Okay, that's stupid.
Yeah, I don't get that one.
That was bad.
That one's dumb. But you're right. Bussin', great, wonderful, or amazing, like the opposite of med.
I thought it was gonna be like I work at a restaurant and bussing them tables.
No, I've only ever used that when I'm like trying to like use it in an ironic way.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Oh, even I knew what bussin' was.
My ass is so big, I'm busting out of these jeans.
You knew what Josh, you knew what bussin' meant?
Oh, yeah, I know all these.
What? Because of the young person?
I've got middle schoolers at home.
The young people that live in your...
one, but he's got a lot of friends over.
So then I should expect you to be the first to answer this next one. Boob knee.
Josh,
what is boob knee?
Over time where gravity positions your grandmother's hooters. The boob goes to the knee.
No!
Makes sense. Yeah.
No.
Correct.
I don't even know. I've never even heard that.
Does anyone know boob knee?
I know the legitimate answer. It's
go ahead.
Acne caused by a bra.
Oh, no.
Oh.
Oh, that would suck. Another reason not to wear them, ladies.
And gentlemen.
You're right, Josh. I'd never heard, I haven't heard of any of these, well, I guess with the exception of mid. Boob knee, pimples or a rash caused by your bra.
Oh, that would suck.
Next up, Barbie Core.
Josh? An Australian barbecue metalcore band.
Oh, no.
Nice.
He's wrong. What is Barbie Core?
I would think like a heavy metal act that dresses like Poppy.
No.
I think I got it. It's centered around Barbie, obviously, and it's like when you're like super girly and pink and all that.
I'm going to give her another point on that one. Yes. Barbie Core, pink outfits and accessories and decor that celebrates Barbie. Girl dinner.
Ashley.
I
kind of hate this word. It's, I guess, when women just like put random things together on a plate, like for dinner, like 3 Triscuits, couple grapes, some broccoli, maybe.
Right. An often attractively presented collection of snacks that involve little preparation. That's a girl dinner.
When this started trending, I was like, oh, what the heck is this? Let's see. And I was like, oh, yeah, actually, I do that quite a bit.
You're guilty of it.
Uh-huh.
Girl Money. What band? Kicks. What year? I think it was 92. What record? Hotwire. Okay, the next word from dictionary.com that you folks are trying to define. This one sounds old to me. I've heard this for years. Well, I guess it doesn't have to be a new word to be new to dictionary.com. Cheat code. Josh, cheat code.
The secret word Nick gives me when his wife's in the room, but he wants to cheat on her.
He's right. Well, what they say here for I hate this. Cheat code, the definition. It's like a hack.
Mm-hmm.
I'm so burned out.
Hack.
I'm so burned out on reading about a life hack. Oh, blow that out of your ass. Like a hack, a ploy or technique that bypasses traditional methods or rules. Okay, I thought it directly was connected to video games, but it's not.
I've heard in sports too recently as well. If a player's like so good, they're like, he is so good, he's a cheat code. He's a human cheat code.
Yeah, I've heard that. Okay, that's probably why they decided to put it in now.
2 more. Range anxiety.
Josh, I actually know this one.
Go ahead.
A buddy of mine has what I like to call an EV. You heard this before? You guys hear this one? You hear about that before?
Did you hear about this one? See this one?
Yeah, it's an electric vehicle, and he gets range anxiety like he's not, especially in the winter. He's not going to have enough juice to make it to his destination or get it where he needs to go.
The fear that an electric vehicle's battery will run out of power before you get to where you're going again. 1 more. Ashley's been strong.
Thank you.
Dana's been. Josh has been.
I've been wrong a lot.
Good guesses, though.
Yeah.
We like the effort.
Yep.
Shacket.
Josh.
Go ahead.
What Shaquille O'Neal calls it when he masturbates.
No. I am a shacket wearer. Didn't know it until I just read the new term on dictionary.com.
Oh, I am too. Yeah.
That's when you mash up a shirt and a jacket. It's a, quote, garment in the style of a button-down shirt made of a thicker fabric, usually worn over other shirts. Well, I wear a shacket every flippin' day.
Yeah, that's the trend, right? I mean, I see a lot of folks wearing jackets.
Is that a trend?
Yeah,
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah,
I like when
the
it's
young
got the
people
hoodie.
wear them. Yep, and then they're usually plaid of some sort.
I have one right outside the studio right now.
So if you wear that look long enough, it'll become trendy with the young people.
That's how it goes.
Because I've been doing that gimmick since I was a kid. Would you say that when it comes to wearing shackets, I am a cheat code?
I'd go with more a trend setter.
I'm certainly not mid when it comes to wearing a
I'd
shacket.
say you're OG on that.
OG.
Yep.
You're a very educated crowd.
Josh, I really liked your answers. Better than the actual definitions.
Well, I appreciate that. I guess I didn't know enough about some of those. We want to send a shout out to the St. Paul teachers and Teacher Jesus checking in this morning. Motocross 492 Jesus checked in earlier looking for some support. It's his first family road trip to Orange Beach, Alabama with a 1.5-year-old. And he goes on to whisper, please help. Shout out to TG Beer Slinging Jesus, Whips Jesus, and Wits Jesus. Headed out to do some fishing today. Happy birthday Sunday to Mama Duck Jesus from Word Jesus. Happy 30th to Raggedy Ann Shoulders Jesus from Army S1 Jesus. And happy birthday to our podcast editor, co-worker, and friend with benefits, Bill, who has a birthday on Sunday. Have a safe and awesome weekend.
The 93X Half-Assed Morning Show. 93.
The 93X Half-Assed Morning Show podcast is sponsored by Standard Heating and Air Conditioning. New episodes drop each weekday. If your podcast platform has ratings, go ahead and give us 5 stars and maybe give our enemies 1. Thanks, and here's a word from our sponsor.
Standard Heating is having their 94-year celebration. They have special offers just for you this February. Whether you need a new furnace or a tune-up, they have something special for everyone. Visit standardheating.com to save today.